tower rare Adam's gonna drop, Katarina's gonna drop, the Crocodile on the back's gonna do everything they can, but this might be a PTP victory!
I think the thing that PTP does the best is focusing on the next play and keeping moods up and staying very focused on what the next play is, not getting over emotional, staying straightforward. This is what the next objective is. Here's how we win the game, and we regroup no matter what happens.
It's how familiar we are with each other, and the way that we already know how to work together. When we get in a situation where we're behind, I don't have to ask Escape or Tef or Anti how they're feeling or what they're thinking, because I've played with them for real life years on the same team, and I interact with them almost daily as just friends. So I know what they're thinking. I know Anti is going to, be the team cheerleader, keep us all together, look for those opportunities. Escape is going to use precision and just well executed comms to put together a genius team fight. And it's that way where I already know what they're thinking and how they're going to treat the future, that gives every member of RLS some security no matter what the situation is at game.
I mean, what is there to say about Anti? His champion pool in Heroic so far has been very boring, but he has been incredibly consistent and it works for them. I'm just asking that he fights me and doesn't play like cowardice and pick coward champions. Fight me, you coward.
Talking about Gandorfs, I think that Gandorfs is a very consistent player. I think there are elements to that consistency which make him very readable and sometimes obvious in what his game plan is going to be, and he doesn't often switch things up. So I'm not going to all in on exactly what he's going to do in a game, but I can say with 95% certainty, I know exactly what lane he's going to gank in a given game and what camp he's going to start in a given game, and I can use that to inform my teammates exactly what the enemy jungler is going to do. And when you can do that in the early game, it's a free early game. You get to do whatever you want within reason. It's pretty nice. So Gandorfs is definitely a strong, consistent player. I do think that he's one of the strong points of PTP and potentially a top half of the league jungler, but some of the habits that he has, I'm pretty sure I can exploit.
I want to wish World Leader the best of luck, and I think that RLS won't know what hit them. Give me your best shot.
Tau Tritons suck. PTP plays through bot lane. You're a cog in the machine. And I'll see you next year when we put a team together. But unfortunately, Season 6 is going to be over for you.
All right, everyone, and welcome finally to the Heroic League qualifiers. After 7 weeks of intense battle, we are here with our first match, best of 5, PTP, RLS. It's gonna be a banger. Joining me on the desk, I'm Zen, and I've got Erebus here to walk us through this draft.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Erebus, you boy. Now, just looking at the bans initially, usually against Pentakill Teemo Please, our preferred way of banning has been just banning out Vayne and Tristana, and then they seem a little bit lost generally. I'm noticing that's not what's happening here, so it's a little interesting for RLS's bans. Usually they, PTP plays through bot side, so I wonder if there's going to be an adjustment to that.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a very interesting game for a number of reasons. Number one, the draft strategy has changed. I think notably for PTP, really late signup is playing Ruby in the mid lane. The last time during the regular season when these teams first faced off, in both of the games, RLS was playing Cowrie in the mid lane. So this is going to make a big adjustment to both these teams' draft strategies. And we see this already affecting the draft already, as that Ivern ban is targeted at Ruby. I love Ruby's champion pool. Plays mid Ivern, plays Talia, plays a whole bunch of fun stuff. And as you say, as well, RLS changing it up, and the B1 Seraphine going to be locked in for PTP.
I like that. I like the B1 Seraphine. And then Blitzcrank as a response is interesting. Blitz is in a really good spot right now. And I think if Kai'Sa gets locked in, that's a pretty strong bot lane. I really like the Seraphine. I think it's a pretty good adjustment coming out of PTP. That's not a champion that they've been playing, really. But yeah, the Ivern ban is definitely a Ruby ban. We played against RLS a little bit in some scrims, and they ran an Ivern mid comp, and it was actually really frustrating. It's not as troll as it seems, guys. It's actually pretty good sometimes. So I'd like to see some sort of kind of like bruisery comp coming out for the jungle and top from PTP.
Well, we'll have to see if they want to lock something in. With that Seraphine, as you mentioned, it's a really powerful team fight enabler if you get some beefy frontliners and you're able to sustain their health with the incredible heal and shield power. PTP now looking to lock in the Samira up against Blitzcrank Kaisa. That is a very spicy challenge. PTP is saying we are down to throw down in that bot side.
Yeah, I really am surprised they didn't go Vayne and Tristana with it being open. Samira is definitely a strong pick. I think Samira has some issues playing the game versus a champion like Blitzcrank, right? Where you can pretty much get your ult canceled the second you go in. And I think Kaisa's extended trade's definitely favorite. I do like the Hecarim with the Seraphine, though. You're going to need a lot of... I don't like Skarner, but you're going to need a lot of heal cut to effectively fight against Pentakill Teemo, please.
And RLS going to be locking in the Skarner. Although it's an unusual champion, I know for a fact that this is one of War Leader's most practiced and most comfortable characters. And it's always exciting to see people bring out these characters that they really love and that they really have spent a lot of time on. Because I don't know, like I don't often play against 200 game Skarner masters in solo queue, right? But
Yeah, definitely.
but Friend or Foe gives us that opportunity to see these unorthodox characters shine. As we go into the second half of the ban phase, again, Ruby's champion pool picked away at once more with the Talia taken away. Meanwhile, RLS throwing away an Ornn ban against Tadeus.
I think Tadeus is definitely strong on tanks. Maokai has been left open, which is surprising. I'd like to see a team probably pick up Maokai if it gets through the ban phase. And then I'm pretty interested to see what Anti comes up with on the top side as well. I'm not sure what support they went on with Samira either. But I don't know. The team comps seem interesting. Skarner's definitely not bad, right? Like you said, War Leader's pretty good at Skarner. And when we played him against Skarner, he was kind of one-shotting our Hecarim, so maybe that'll happen again this game. Ideally not, but we'll see. And there's an Azir ban and a Swain ban, so I think we're probably going to see a Victor coming out.
We'll have to see. RLS, with that many mid bans taken away, sort of in this backed corner, will have to blind here and then perhaps save this blind or this counter pick for topside, and it is going to be the Annie picked up for Ruby. Again, a character that has seen a long history in Friend or Foe. Famously played by Civilock, also very comfortable for Ruby. Just gives you that straight engage potential. Very nice, very safe, and I think lines up well with what RLS is looking to do in this composition. They're really looking to pick off a single member and then allow Tef on the Kaisa to really blow up the map. Meanwhile, PTP gonna respond with a set and something else. I'm curious where this Seraphine is gonna go. Where do you think?
I think it's going to be mid lane. Even if it was a flex initially, Seraphine's going to be pretty easy into Annie. You have really good wave clear, and Annie's not going to be able to necessarily keep up with that, so it's going to enable early and mid game roams. And is that a Leona? Let's see. It might be a Leona, right?
Like it. Ooh, Morgana.
Ooh, the opposite, the darkness character. Okay. So Morgana into Blitz is pretty good. Samira, that's going to be a pretty safe lane for Samira if you time the W properly. There's not going to be a lot of all-in potential, but at the same time, you're playing for team fights pretty heavily on Pentakill Teemo Please's side.
Yeah,
So
I really like what PTP has put together here. They have, exactly the same kind of strong frontliners that you would love to have for a Seraphine to juice up in the Hecarim and the set. But they also have this counter character. This Morgana is so perfect into the likes of the Blitzcrank and the Skarner to try and shut down RLS's, team identity, which is picking out an individual. So I think that, looking at these teams as we start to hop into the regular game, I have to give the draft W to PTP, but, once on the Rift, it's really anyone's game.
I would agree. I'd say the draft has definitely swung in PTP's favor. I think their comp is a lot more cohesive and makes a lot more sense. And I think if they don't find themselves in a significant deficit within the first 15 minutes, they should have a pretty easy time closing the game out. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we are. Game number 1 of our best of 5 I cannot wait to see what's going to happen here. Will there be any fancy level 1s? There is a Blitzcrank on the map, and he's running straight down the mid lane. Flash from Tef, not going to connect.
You gotta take those chances. Hex flashes up anyways. You know what? That's a zoning cue. You get one for free, Hecarim. Not again.
We'll have to see if Let's Do Vanal and Threshbot are able to maybe capitalize on that Burn Summoner in that bot side. I have to say, Let's Do Vanal's Samira has looked like a pretty decent threat. You know, this is not the first time that this character has been picked in Heroic League. It's been, you know, a very powerful part of PTP, and they've been working on it for quite a while. You know, as you said, looking in the draft, you know, maybe the Tristana or, you know, another like hyper-scaling AD carry might have been the safer pick, but I think PTP, you know, if they want to crush out these games, they want to crush them out fast and with like aggressive characters that go forward and continue a fight. And so I'm excited to see what the Samira is going to be able to bring to the table.
I agree, and you know, if it goes well, it's good. That's gonna definitely make the draft more difficult for RLS, right? So if Samira pops off, Vanal's no longer a 2-trick. And it doesn't matter if he ban out 2 champions because he has other champions to pick. So I'm really interested to see how well he does this game. I think we're going to see not too much action coming out from either side for a little bit, unless there's a fight that breaks out in the river just based around Seraphine having prio.
I'm also very interested in this topside matchup. A little bit of trading going on already. Tef posturing extremely aggressively, hook on a land, but that's exactly why you play the Threshbot. With the Black Shield, able to completely stop and stuff that play.
Oh, yeah, actually that's escape on the Kai'Sa. Okay, cool. Makes sense. So, just a little overlay differential, I suppose, but escape on Kai'Sa. Escape, please do not go Phantom Dance for second. Well, Lytics doesn't even say it's good. I don't care. Oh, we got a pull.
It's gonna land this time. They get the early level 2. Let's do Vanal, forced to flash out, and it's first blood for the RLS duo bot side. What an absolute powerhouse play, knew exactly when to take that advantage.
That was a really good level 2. I don't know if PTP's lane just lost track of where the minions were or what, but, you know, you can't walk up into a Blitzcrank Kai'Sa level 2 when your Black Shield is on cooldown. So, really good window opportunity for RLS, and Kai'Sa's pretty strong all points in the game. Oh, and we got Patty has killed Volibear. Okay.
Is wild. I have to imagine it must have been something like you know, he had the passive on, so Baby got stuck under tower, took a couple turret shots that he didn't intend to. It does look like the flash was burned as well. And yeah, I wanted to transition our eyes up to the top side anyways, but we might not have time as Tef, maybe looking for a roam in the mid lane, decides to go against it. Sundara seems to have sniffed it out and is smartly playing back very safely.
Yeah, really good heads-up play by Sundara. It looks like they don't have vision of it, so I think Botlane might have just called the Blitzcrank was gone or has the ability to roam, and they just played back. And Hecarim is shadowing mid as well. I think just picking up Crab, but might run into Blitzcrank. And he's out. Okay. So lanes are going to reset a little bit at this point. Bot lane's pretty gankable for Skarner, and then top lane's pretty gankable for Hecarim. So I'm interested to see where they end up because they're going to the opposite sides from what I just said for both of them.
And Tadeas has to play very careful here. This is the scariest part of playing top lane, when the lane is pushing out away from you and you either have to crash it or let it freeze. Gonna opt to take the recall now, has sniffed out the gank, just gonna TP back with the item advantage. It's very, very smart. Did not want to walk, you know, past the halfway point without knowing where one was. I really like that move.
I agree. I don't know if the teleport... I guess you want to crash the wave, right? It seems like you probably can just walk up, but maybe just press the advantage a little bit. And I guess it keeps tempo as well, so not too bad. Yeah. I don't know. The teleport seems a little weird. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't play top lane.
Yeah, I mean, it can be brutal up on that top side. Just one mistake can certainly cost you a whole bunch. And, you know, I'm very excited about this matchup because Anti has been an absolute monster, you know, for so long. Today is now getting into a scrap with him. Conquer is proc, taken very, very low. Anti trying to scrap out here, but both of these players ready and willing to scrap. You know, in the intro video, today has said, "Fight me, you coward," and Anti is not backing down.
I think, yeah, in the Trash Talk channel, there's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder from Anti, you know, understandably so, and it looks like there's going to be a double fight going on.
Forward! Oh, Anti turns it around! The Thunder Bear is victorious, able to clutch watch out that play in the 1v2. Will trade 1-for-1, but a big W for Anti as he still has the teleport available. Meanwhile, Tef, once again looking, Threshbot unable to Black Shield themselves. Can't do two at once. Let's do Vanal now trying to trade back a little bit onto Escape, but another flash bird to that bot side. Tef is looking monstrous on this Blitzcrank.
Tef is a gross support player. Tef gets underrated a lot because Tef plays with really good teams, but I think Tef in general is one of my favorite supports to play with. I think that they are just fantastic with understanding what kind of the go button time is. And, you know, it's definitely transitioning to a pretty strong CS advantage in the bot lane. Same with the top, actually. So top and bot are both losing out on CS pretty hard at the moment.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, this bot side for RLS has been a real strength of this heroic roster. In particular because both Escape and Tef, you know, are comfortable playing both of those bottom lane roles. And so we quite frequently actually see them switch positions based on the characters that are going to best serve them for that particular game. And it just made them have an extremely flexible bottom side that so far has been very difficult to counter in the Heroic League.
I would agree, and it frustrates me because, like you said, they're both very good at AD carry. Tef is insane on Caitlyn Aphelios, and Escape is good on, you know, like every character pretty much. It's just,
and
it's
Hook
very
lands
difficult.
again, no vision available. Now let's do Vanal, you know, going to scrap it out with Escape, trying to get as much damage as they can. Exhaust is going to be burned. That's going to be a kill picked up for Escape. Now Creon is here to clean things up a little bit. Flash burn from Tef. Ultimate is available for the Hecarim, and the Ghost Binding lands. Fantastic. Snipes through the minion wave. Double kill picked up for the Hecarim.
I like the turnaround from PTP there. It looked a little doomed initially, and Escape had a pretty good cleanse, but the Threshbot throwing out those pretty dangerous Qs, I didn't think that was going to hit. I would have been a little salty about that, but that was a really clean Q land, and Creon's been kind of all over the place right now. Really good gank timings.
Yeah, and meanwhile, you know, off screen, we actually saw a counter gank happen in the mid lane. Ruby and Warleader able to pick up a kill of themselves, and Anti once again stunned up under tower, taking a big chunk of damage from that Haymaker. Today is going to be happy with that trade.
So, enlighten me. Do you know anything about the Volibear set top lane matchup? Because I don't really know much about it besides they kind of just punch each other.
I know that Volibear is an immense ball of stats in the early stages of the game. Set has slightly better scaling, but Volibear, you know, just has the ease of execution, right? At any point, you can just hit that stun and, you know, really lay waste to your opponent. I think the later this game goes, particularly once Tadeus finishes that Blade of the Rune King, we might see things turn around for Anti. But Anti knows his role in this game, right? All he needs to do is to be a big old beefy front guy to allow Warleader and Ruby to hit those stuns. And that's all that they're going to need to be successful. Meanwhile, Shield steal here from Creon might be caught out. He's going to be walking away, so great play from PTP.
Yeah. I like the roam from the Threshbot on that. You know, your Samira is pretty safe where she currently is. You can just hold W and you'll die. You know that the jungler's not going to dive, so just go shadow your jungler with your mid laner and go take some camps and grab the Herald. I really like the play.
Perfect trade of ultimates in that top side. Anti reads the play, knows that Tadeus is going to use them to try and bring him under towers, so uses his own ultimate to go unstoppable, cancel it. Meanwhile, this is going to be a play topside, but actually, off screen, Anti gets the solo bolo after ultimate chain. Meanwhile, we have a fight for Rift Herald. Ultimate pop from Warleader, going to be bringing Threshbot in. Huge charm onto 2 from Sundara, might turn this play around. Threshbot running away for their life, will eventually fall. Creon now on the run as well as Anti has joined. The flash forward will pick up a double kill as well, and Tef has now joined to finally secure it. A triple kill and a huge turnaround for RLS. They get the Rift Herald, but at what cost?
The cost was everything. You know, we get Rift Herald, you guys get everything you want. You get plates, you get pressure, you get full kills, and no one dies. Anti, you know, heard the fight me and said, you know what, I'm just going to run my face into you, I'm going to fight. To be honest, the fight looked pretty... That was a really good ult out of Sundara, but Skarner just was very tanky, pumping out damage. Ruby was positioned properly to not really take any damage. Anti was able to come down, and then Tef came in for the we're going to get you kind of just EQ at the end. So, I don't know. It seemed like a really proactive play at a PTP, but RLS, I guess, was just one step ahead of it.
Yeah, able to respond just in time. But I will say that that kind of proactivity looks good on PTP, right? They've taken away a free camp in that top side, and they've shown that they're willing to do those early game rotations for that Herald. That's a practice play that takes time and skill to execute. And so even though it didn't go particularly well in this particular game, you got to remember, you know, we're in a best of series, and that kind of proactivity might be rewarded in the future.
Definitely. And, you know, I think if the top lane fight had gone to where Thaddeus had not died, that play might not have happened as negatively, right? Volibear wouldn't have been able to come down. So it was more just probably get the Herald and dip out, something you can definitely learn from after the game ends. You know, win or lose, you can review that play and see what happened and kind of learn from it.
Yeah. That said, looking at the game state now, 4,000 gold is the lead for RLS, but they want to change things up. The Flash ultimate forward from Freshbot, very aggressive onto Escape. Cleanse is going to be burned. Flash is going to be burned as well. Tef now running away with his life, but look at War Leader. He's got the perfect flank. He might be able to turn this around. Let's see Manel now on the retreat. Ultimate top from Creon, and the RLS once again. I can't believe it. They've turned things around. Let's do Vanel. Gonna be taken down. Ruby might be able to get the third, but still another 2 kills picked up for RLS, and they just keep on finding W's.
I really liked how Escape played that. You let yourself get bound by the Morgana ult, you cleanse, you ult out afterwards, you don't burn your ult early, and then you flash away from the Hecarim ult, so almost no damage effectively got onto him.
Oh, anti!
Gross.
Oh my goodness, what a gross there. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. It's a massive ball of stats. It's so hard to stop. Sundara and Creon will be here to pick up the shutdown, but, you know, very, very painful.
Wow, there is a lot happening this game. So, that bot fight looked pretty good initially. War Leader mentioned in the promo video that he was aware of where Gandorf's was going to be, but not Creon. But it seems like War Leader, regardless if he's done against PTP, is kind of aware of their general pathing. He's shown up for counter ganks twice now, and that one ended up being pretty fatal. Really good pathing out of the Skarner. Even though I wasn't initially a fan of the pick, it looks like I am being proven wrong because I don't know anything about jungling. I'm just a dumb AD carry player. And then top lane, anti-pilots Volibear frustratingly well, like you said. That is a champion that I don't think should be as good top lane as it is, but man, it's obnoxious when he's ahead, and he is out 40 CS.
He's one of those characters that's so difficult to really outplay. You know, he just has the stats to find things. Meanwhile, Vanel gonna get his ult immediately canceled, and War Leader once again brutally back at this bot side. Gonna be picking up another kill. Smite burn. No Black Shield available, and another double kill. This bot side is not looking good for PTP.
I would agree with that. That is, you know, that's the problem with Samira and the Blitzcrank, right? Your ultimate is going to get cancelled as long as Blitzcrank saves their E every single time. And it's really difficult to play around that unless you already see somebody else get pulled and eat, or you can position to where you're not going to be within Blitzcrank.
If he's gone, we don't have voice.
Okay.
All right, and we're back. Sorry for that brief interruption. Creon unable to escape the play in the mid lane. Means that once again, PTP on the back foot as, you know, all of a sudden, you know, after a couple of plays, we've exploded up to 11 deaths. You know, difference between the two teams, and Escape getting one over on Let's Do Vanel once again. Escape now perhaps going to be the target choice, but once again, Tef is here. RLS just always backing up their plays with multiple members, and it seems so hard for PTP to earn a sneaky win.
Anti got a kill solo onto Thaddeus while we were on our brief intermission, and then it looks like, yeah, so the bear is online, the bear is strong, the robot is here to get the horse, and bot lane is getting a little bit out of control at this point, I'd say. You have a 5-1-2 Kai'Sa, you have a 3-0-3 mid laner. Ruby's playing quietly very well, I would say. Seraphine has not really been able to have any impact. I'm pretty surprised about that, to be honest, because like right here, this is pretty much how the lane state should always be. So props to Ruby for that. War Leader's all over the map, and Anti has a very strong CS lead and is kind of commanding the top lane.
you can see, this is the part of the game where the top side strength starts to creep into other places on the map, and oh my goodness,
no.
Escape on a rampage. This is a player who, is an MVP player in the Mythic League and really starting himself down in Heroic. Just has been absolutely dominating this bot side, and I think, if we look at this series as a whole, I suspect that the Samira might need to be swapped out for something else moving forward. Teleport now going to come through, double TP to try and commit onto Escape. That is going to be 4 people down here on this bot side to secure a singular kill. We'll be able to pick up this one. Anti as well teleported down, will trade back 1, but a good shutdown for the side of PTP. Happy to take that one. Now they have to run back mid lane to try and defend against a Rift Herald.
This is a good answer macro-wise for what just happened bot lane. I think that was a really good play to catch Escape overextended. Anti got caught with the green teleport.
We have the extension of the play. Tep going to immediately blow up the Thresh bot. Creon taken extremely low. Ruby does so much damage, and they get a double kill once again. PTP unable to find a team fight victory that lasts them more than a couple seconds. Now Sundara is the target of choice as Tep once again rounding the corner trying to find the hook, but even just the pressure is enough to take 2 turrets.
Yeah, it's like you said, PTP is not finding extended fights, right? And so the Seraphine's not getting very much value. If they were able to kind of, if they were a little bit not so far behind, then I think their team comp lends a lot more credence to being victorious, but it's very difficult to pull off a team fight composition when you're down this way.
Going back to what you said earlier, it's unfortunate, whenever you draft a Seraphine, particularly that laning Seraphine, you really want to try and fight around this character that provides so much healing and so much extra time for your teammates to be effective, but Sundara just hasn't been able to be present. Anti now going for the 1v1 is going to be taken down quite easily on the cross map. Unfortunately didn't have teammates available to support it. Meanwhile, Sundara once again in trouble in the mid lane, trying to run this out. War Leader is so fast. Ultimate can be popped from Skarner, taken very low, but the rest of PTP is here. This might be their turnaround. They're going to be able to pick up another huge shutdown. Meanwhile, Kaisa going to take up some damage in the bot side, but still, more shutdowns for PTP is a good thing.
PTP appears to have just decided that they need to group up and try to cut off all these cross-map plays. They were playing separated and they were just getting picked individually. I like the adjustment for Tip.
They're going on to Tep. Tep's going to be taken extremely low. Vanel thinking about diving under the turret, manages to drop it. Great job. Look at Ruby's damage, though. Oh my goodness. Magi's completed absolutely obliterates the AD carry.
Gross. Leandria should not do that much damage, Annie should not do that much damage, but that's just the way it is, and Ruby's looking pretty strong right now.
Yeah, and I mean, this is so strong. The fact that Ruby is as strong as they are makes this game so difficult, I feel, because at this point as a PTP fan, they really need to, push the tempo of this game, because they're up against Soul Point. And they don't win the outscaling battle because of that. So they need to be aggressive, just like Escape is being right now.
Why does Escape have Wits in? I guess it works, but what are you doing, man? Quit it. Do normal stuff on Kaizen.
This is a build that Escape swears by. It's very, very powerful, and honestly, it's working for him here, so who might complain?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree.
Creon and Tadeas once again get a first the ult out of Anti, so consistently able to put pressure here in this top side, but look at this! Oh my goodness, Ruby is so scary when smacked by Blitzcrank. It's absolutely horrifying.
Yeah, Blitzcrank and Annie, with Annie having E and Blitzcrank W while they're getting sped up, is something that's a little terrifying. You're going to get caught out even if you're in a good spot most of the time.
Yeah, and I really like what they're doing to play around these objectives. Baron spawning in 20 seconds, and RLS has already choked out the entire left quadrant of the map, ensuring they will have access to that objective first. And they're just playing the map very standard, in a very RLS way. They know how to close out these games. This is why this team is a continuous and consistent threat in the Heroic League. They're just so good at playing as a team and getting those objectives down, and it looks like PTP is going to be completely unable to contest this.
I like that RLS, while they were kind of shadowing that dot tower, were clearing out vision, putting down their own vision for this Baron play. You know, it shows that they were thinking a little bit ahead beyond we want to get some kills bot. They burn Baron way too fast for 10 minutes, but that's just what happens, and it looks like they're going to try to pick up some stuff afterwards. Maybe just... Oh, Freshbot got it. But I think they're just going to continue to deny jungle resources at this point. Interestingly enough, Hecarim is actually even in gold with Skarner, or was very recently, because of all the touchdowns that have been collected.
The flash ultimate from War Leader, they want to start something off, and look at that, they have the burst damage now, they just completely obliterate. Now diving past the turret, Anti using that ultimate to shut down that tower will allow them to take this objective. And, you know, it feels like RLS can really do whatever they want now. Now looking on a Sundara, not going to understand. Meanwhile, the huge Hecarim flank just gets obliterated in an instant! Ruby is too powerful! We can't win this fight! And the rest of PTP are needing to run away. Flash forward, they're trying to end it here. Escape hits the ultimate in. Ignathian Raid is going to do more than enough. The flash forward, triple kill for Escape. And RLS is going to take game one almost assuredly in commanding victory. Looks like they might have to recall here. Tef trying to get away. Ultimate going to land onto multiple members, but there's not enough damage available. Creon now able to respawn, and it looks like RLS with that is going to walk home to the bank exceedingly happy.
Hard to be sad, right? Sad. They got Baron, they got 2 towers, they got the inhib, they got 5 kills, 6 kills technically. So Set died, they got 3 more. Hecarim had a pretty good angle for a flank, to be honest, but I believe just got Annie stunned and Blitzcrank punched at the same time and got exploded. And it's looking pretty rough. I think they're going to collect the Ocean Soul and just try to end within the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, and it looks like the members of RLS have also done some studying.
Why do they have
reading,
4 Medja?
done some light reading on the way to, you know, the Dragon Pit over here. And they will be rewarded with yet another kill, and another one, and they might just end the game.
I like it on Kai'Sa, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty alright on Kai'Sa.
Ruby's full stack too, so Ruby's been reading for a while.
Oh yeah, I mean Ruby is well read, you know, knows all the literature. For sure. This is going to be Ocean Soul picked up for RLS. I really like that, you know, something that's great about RLS is that they really very often, not very often do they overforce. I say that though, Escape just goes madman. But they know how to close out a game in a way that does not expose themselves, right? They're taking these fights only when they have the opportunity to, and, you know, preserving these Magi stacks as they close out a clean game one. And they are making a statement of this match against PTP.
Absolutely a huge statement. PTP is going to have to look at their draft and make some adjustments. Maybe just don't give Kai'Sa away. Kai'Sa's a pretty contested pick at the moment. Feels really strong. And Escape is fantastic on, like we talked about, pretty much everything. Very mechanically gifted individual. But he knows his damage windows very well, which is something that a lot of people don't necessarily read into at that high of a level.
Final stand, going to be immediately obliterated. A great 3-man stun from Sundara, but it just doesn't have any follow-up. Let's do Vanal too short range to be able to get anything done here. War Leader now chasing underneath the tower. Vanal force the flash away. Escape trying to close out this fight. Freshbot able to live just barely. Now Anti going to be shut down in the base, and they might be able to turn this, but no, Escape going nuts, taking so much damage. Today is able to heal, but ultimately the Winions will do it, and RLS pick up game one.
That was a very commanding victory. They looked very clean. I think the beginning of the game didn't start off too poorly, but it went out of control a little fast. Personally, I'm not going to put it all on picking Samira, right? That's not the only issue this game, but I think if you pick Samira that early versus a team that's very happy to just build full CC with a carry bot, you probably need to readjust your draft a little bit. It's pretty hard for Samira to actually play the game. But War Leader had fantastic presence. Escape team fought fantastically. Anti won top lane, you know, he said fight you, he fought him. Everyone looked really individually strong on RLS.
Yeah, and that's not to say that there weren't moments of brilliance with PTP. Like, I actually, looking at this draft as a whole, I like the idea of playing Seraphine into RLS specifically. RLS, when I think of this team, I think of a team that is extremely good at big meatball team fighting, right? Anti is almost always on something like Volibear or Set. War Leader's always on something like Skarner or Zac or Sejuani. They have big old meatballs that want to fight you for a really long time. So I think that the Seraphine has promise, as we move later on into this series. I think for PTP, they are going to need to look at, ways that they can get out of the laning phase without being at such a disadvantage. If they're able to do that, I think that we're in for a long and fun match. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, it'll be Game 2, RLS PTP.
Five Magi is pretty funny. How dare you? Zinzin started crying. It's crazy. That game didn't seem too bad until it just seemed really bad. I don't know. Yeah, that was pretty. Dude, everyone just started dying. Everyone started chain dying. Okay. I think PTP's macro looks better than it has all season, which is interesting. So, be interesting to see if they can fix whatever happened. Hopefully not a 3-0 series. I'd like to see it. Wait, is that B-Rap hair on the Legend form?
You're supposed to play the in-between, but you can play it before the next game. That works too. Also, we might need way longer than that amount of time. There's no yeah, we're aware. Yeah. I wanted to see what the reaction was to flash. We're recording. Okay, no worries. I genuinely just wanted to hear them be like, yeah. Alright, yeah. 64 seconds. I would probably put like a minute in. I think they're still on break. They still need a draft.
I just sent draft.
Oh, I'm a fucking liar.
They start drafting right now. Okay, you open it up on RLS chat.
Yeah. What?
I know he's on draft.
Yeah, but what are you talking
Staying up tonight and I'm all alone. Feeling okay, then you hit my phone. Saying, babe, wanna meet up? I'm in the club, but I'm done now. Can I come up? Saying, of course you can come by. I don't know why, but you're sunshine. Oh, you're alright. Oh, you're alright. I'm gonna shut my mouth when you say what's on your mind. I can see the pain in your eyes. First I'm left, then I'm right. Don't know how to keep my calm. Baby, don't use your lies. every time I could call you mine. I don't know why I'm being the one feeling stupid. I'm feeling stupid now. So now it's time for the goodbyes. Everything dies for the sunrise. Oh, you're a lie. It's time for the goodbyes. Everything dies for the sunrise. Oh, you're a lie. Oh, you're a lie. I'm gonna shut my mouth when you say what's on your mind. I can see the pain in your eyes. 'Cause I'm left and I'm right. Don't know how to keep my calm. Baby, don't you tell your lies. It's time for the goodbyes. Everything dies where the sunrise. Oh, you're a lie. Oh, you're a lie.
So PTP, I mean, it's they've scraped in there, right? And a lot of that I think has got to do with that top jungle synergy. I feel like Tadeusz has a lot of comfort in lane. He's had a big influence, especially on that top side of the map that enables his jungler to actually come and collect stuff. And really, it's a synergy that we don't see all that often in terms of just pairings in the league. So I feel like if they have something going for them, it's definitely that top jungle. And it could be the catalyst for enabling that win condition, right? If they try and split it up, if they try and make these games interesting, and especially make them close, because they are coming up against other teams that are potentially just a little bit over the curve from where they're at, then they can definitely play off of that top jungle synergy. And I feel like it could work pretty good for them.
All right, everybody, we are back for game 2 of RLS PTP Best of 5. Now, PTP has selected to take red side, which is very interesting. They're choosing to mix things up and make some adaptations after RLS took game 1 in decisive faction. Once again, I'm Zenzen. Joining me on the desk is Erebus to walk us through this draft.
What up, everybody? It's your boy with Zinzin Part 2. So I like the adaptation to ban Blitzcrank if you're gonna run Samira again. I don't know if I would run Samira again, to be honest. I might just avoid that one for a mental reset. But RLS banning Nocturne Aatrox. I like the Aatrox ban. Tadiaz is pretty good at Aatrox. Udyr is interesting. I don't mind playing against Udyr, but it's definitely a strong flex, and I know Anti and War Leader can both play it. Nyla is a good ban. So one of the things that Vanel's been working on is his Nyla, and I think when the champion's executed super well, it ends up being pretty strong. So I like the adaptation from, like the continued growth in bans from RLS. You know, they switched them up there and just gonna go, well, we won. Let's go ahead and do the exact same stuff. And now they're just hovering everything. Honestly, first pick Yuumi wouldn't be too bad. I think Yuumi's kind of broken right now.
Yeah,
And we got
it's going
Diana
to be
Toy.
the Diana for War Leader. This is a character that has seen a lot of success for War Leader, one of their most favorite, aggressive junglers, and particularly important because Diana is one of those few junglers who provides that ability power damage, right? So we might see something interesting from the mid lane with this Diana locked in. I also noticed that Ivern left on the table this time around. PTP gonna answer back with the Ornn, so already committing themselves to a strong team fight composition. They're gonna have great scaling from that top side, and here it is. Let's
Okay,
do
yeah.
Vadal on the signature vein.
Little mental reset. Vanel is, believe it or not, guys, Vanel is a Vanel main or Vayne main. If you couldn't tell by the name, his Vayne's actually pretty clean. It's pretty. I don't think the champion's in a great spot, but he has a 57% win rate and ranked on it. It's not too bad. I don't know about the Ornn blind round 1. Ornn's pretty safe, but I think you could probably pick up some other important champions, especially with the jungler off the table. Yeah, they're not gonna. Okay, so we might see Tef playing AD carry this game with Caitlyn locked in. And the Caitlyn Vayne matchup isn't as bad as it used to be for Vayne, in my opinion. I mean, you're going to be outranged pretty significantly, but there's better windows to trade. It doesn't feel like it's oh no, I know what's going to happen. They got to ban
Maybe.
They have to ban Seraphine.
Okay, so RLS threatening a double enchanter composition here. This Ivern is guaranteed to be in the mid lane. This is a Ruby special, a character that can actually absorb a surprising amount of pressure on the mid lane and then just provides so much shielding and strength to your AD carry. So RLS throwing down the gauntlet here. They say, you've got that hyperscaling Vayne, you've got an Ornn. Well, I bet that we can match you in that with Caitlyn Ivern, and I can't wait to see what happens. PTP, I think that this Galio is incredibly smart to try and shove in this Ivern and maybe affect the side lanes.
I agree, and I'd like to see some bruiser bans coming out from PTP. You're going to be trying to run, aside from Diana, I'd like to see Olaf come out top lane. I think Olaf would be a pretty good pick, especially if they're going to do what I think they're going to do, and I think they're going to run a Seraphine Ivern comp, which is pretty obnoxious, and I guess they're not convinced that Galio's mid lane because they banned Azir. I don't know. I think Galio's probably mid, in my opinion. I like the Lux and Morgana bans with Caitlyn. I think that, it definitely takes off a lot of the lane pressure. But I'm gonna bet some points on the fact that they're gonna try to run a Seraphine Ivern comp right now.
Well, we will see. PTP gonna go for the R4 Nautilus, so they are gonna commit this Galio into the mid lane. I think RLS's Azir ban is interesting. I like the idea that Caitlyn has all this additional range and Diana has this go-in potential, and Azir's an interesting character that can sort of fix both of those problems in different situations, right? If you have the Azir on the team, you can scoop somebody in, or you can push Diana out. So, also one of Sundara's more popular and more practiced characters. So, I don't hate that. Meanwhile, this Nautilus ban has committed them into playing all around this vein, and RLS gonna answer back with a Poppy.
Poppy top,
Probably
I
going in the
guess.
top side. Yeah, this is a very interesting draft from RLS. They're definitely trying out some different stuff here. I'm interested to
It's
see what they're going to
it's
lock in next.
weird. Um, I wanna come on, just do Seraphine. Just do it. Send it. Do the comp. Uh, Braum. Okay, so they're not gonna do the insane 5 or 2 enchanter super meatball combo. Caitlyn Braum's really strong lane. Vayne's gonna have a really tough time playing it. Fiddlesticks is interesting. Poppy can kind of punt him away. So I don't know how I feel about that one, but I think I'm gonna give this one to RLS in terms of draft. I don't know if Vayne's in a great spot. I know Vayne is a Vayne main, but I'm not feeling it. I think Fiddlesticks is going to be awkward to play with the amount of shielding and the ability to just kind of get seeded by Poppy, and I don't think Galio is going to contribute enough to change how Ivern functions in the mid lane. What do you think?
Yeah. You know, we were looking for adaptation after game one, where RLS, played an established style with some of their most comfortable characters, and it felt like PTP, just wasn't able to connect with the Seraphine mid. Um, and that was a little bit unfortunate for them. But I think, this adaptation is going to be a really interesting and very different second game. Um, my eyes are particularly drawn, as yours were, to this Fiddlesticks pick. I think that you have like this incredible counter engage if you can get behind a wall and you have a Fiddlesticks ult into a Galio R. That is team fight winning, right? That is game ending
Yeah,
amounts of
absolutely.
pressure for PTP. However, I think RLS has like a very committal composition, right? They can sit back and let Caitlyn poke auto attacks all around the world, and they have a bunch of incredibly strong defensive tools to keep that Caitlyn safe. So I think like the aggressive Fiddlesticks maybe won't be as effective. I'm not sure what to make of this draft.
I've been told by Geico that I'm lost in the sauce and Vayne's not too bad. Looking at the comp again, I mean the lane's not going to be insane, but Vayne doesn't have a super hard time team fighting into this composition, right? Like they don't have a ton of dive. They have Diana, but you can just eat Diana away or just position properly to where it's not an issue. And you should be able to proc lethal pretty easily and fight. They have a really good front to back comp with Fiddlesticks kind of coming in from an awkward angle. It should make it pretty awkward as long as PTP does. Again, like their big issue is they have to not fall behind, right? They can't be down 5k gold at 10 minutes. And I I don't know. I'm not sold on the Ivern mid. I know it can work. I don't think it's the best thing ever. Hot take, Ivern mid's not crazy, but I really don't necessarily enjoy that pick too much for the composition. We'll see how it goes though.
I will say Ivern is a really interesting character. I mean, the it's hard to put a tangible benefit to placing those brushes in the midst of a team fight. Can do wonders to save a teammate. Also has great supportive abilities to help Caitlyn out, but again is not a particularly strong laner. And really, I think that all of the attention in this game, Erebus, is going to be directed towards this bottom side of the map because I think, whether it's Escape on the Caitlyn or Vayne on the Vayne, whichever of those two characters gets ahead in this match, they're going to be the story setters of this match. They're going to be the most important characters. So, as both teams get out on the Rift, I cannot wait to see how teams work to support their AD carries in this match.
Yeah. I don't know. The lane Nautilus is in a really good spot. Braum provides a lot of counter engage, right? Obviously, just being Braum. Caitlyn with Ghost gives up a little bit of lane pressure, but at the same time, that's fleet footwork, Caitlyn, right? Yeah. So you're not worried about lethal. It's pretty good for sustain. I think if bot lane can come out like 8 to 10 CS down max by the end of the lane, it's a pretty big win for Vayne and Nautilus. But they definitely have kill pressure. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm interested to see how Fiddlesticks paths also. Ideally, Fiddlesticks just tries the hard clear to 6, but you can get some pretty good Fiddlesticks ganks off just with the fear alone. So it'll be interesting. I don't think there's a lot of kill pressure top this game. Last game, they were just smashing their faces into each other, doing a ton of damage. Ornn and Poppy, I'm not a top laner again, but I don't really see how either of those people die necessarily in a 1v1, right?
Both teams can scrap, but this is definitely not going to be the same kind of set Volibear matchup. Now, this is interesting. Tef on the Braum has one of the strongest level 1s in the game. Gonna get a hit onto Threshbot. Gonna take a stun and a big chunk of damage. Threshbot now gonna start with the W, so no longer able to provide that Q pressure, but will sustain some of that damage back as BBC, Escape, and Tef off to a strong start on that offside.
That is a bit rough for sure. Definitely don't expect, at least I wouldn't have expected them to be in the bush for that. I would have expected a leash or just kind of like a late kind of walk to lane to avoid being caught. Avoid giving away war leader's starting position. But it ends up being pretty strong. They're up effective health on the potions. Nautilus is going to have significantly lower pressure for the entirety of this. They're going to get zoned off a lot of CS. And we have, is that Dunkmaster Ivern? Dunkmaster Ivern, the best skin. In the mid lane, just popping down bushes, auto-attacking minions, having a great time. Yep, zoom in on that. Look how beautiful. Look how amazing. I love it. Just got bonked by Galio, but you know what? Doesn't matter. He's going to dance. Ivern's having a good time.
Yeah. So for those of you perhaps less familiar with Ivern mid, this is a character that actually has pretty strong wave push in early levels as long as they're able to use the E-pop. That gets buffed in a patch a while back, and so they can clear minions pretty effectively in that mid lane. The main thing is that Ivern is going to fall off in terms of damage as they sort of build those enchantery items, so not going to be nearly as effective in those team fights, but a huge hook on a Threshbot, able to get a little bit of a chunk out of Escape. We're going to need to see more of those if Vayne wants to be successful in this lane. Already chunked to half health.
And we have War Leader getting bot crab. Looks like their bot lane is just going to be pretty perma under tower for a while, at least until the lane resets. It's going to be tough to find an in-window for damage in a 2v2 if Braum holds his shield properly and Caitlyn's positioned right. But if they're going to be pushed up like this for the entirety of the game, Fiddlesticks can even just ult over from side bush and kind of get into the mix of it, so it'll be interesting. And Diana has
first gank of the match. Threshbot gonna get caught up with the Diana even. A fantastic Spider-Man hooks him out to safety. I gotta say, Threshbot looking pretty practiced on this Nautilus. Is looking pretty good. And meanwhile, topside, Tadea is now the one bullying Anti consistently. With that ability to buy items in the middle of lane, it becomes very difficult to handle Ornn in a tank-on-tank matchup.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Diana finished the full clear and Skull Crab like 30 seconds before Fiddlesticks did. That's a pretty big window timer, so Diana's gonna have
Perfect timing for Sundar. Gonna force the flash out of Ruby. Really nice job. And you know, this is actually a dimension of this comp that we haven't yet talked about. I apologize to take over your point here, but Galio Fiddlesticks, absolute terror in this mid lane once we hit level 6 and we're looking at ganks. Very scary for Ruby to play into.
It's gonna be pretty frustrating, yeah. Fiddlesticks as a champion bugs me, and we got a good engage from Threshbot.
Yeah.
And I think that's just
load
it.
up. Creon able to get the fear, but is going to be stunned up. Vanal too low to want to commit. Flash burn. Tef now still on the offensive, and you know this is the great advantage that you get from poking people down. Felt like PTP were unable to commit to that play. I
don't know what Fiddlesticks' goal was there. You know, it looks like they had 2.5 waves crashing into their tower. They're both pretty low. Fiddle's full health, you know, you got the hook, they're backing up. You can't... I guess Escape was out of traps, so if Caitlyn had a trap there, Fiddlesticks dies. And he's pretty significantly behind on his camps. War Leader is clearing much more effectively, and is gonna, like, he's level 5 right now, has his camps on a better timer, is gonna look to help on anti-reset this wave, get some more lane XP. Galio's here for a counter, though.
And today has also just hit 6. Flash burn from Anti. The flash follow from Sundara will pick up first blood for PTP. Great way to stick around in that top side and earn first blood for them. Great for them.
Really good run from Galio. And yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off your earlier point of Fiddlesticks Galio, Ornn, Fiddlesticks, and Galio in the same team fight is very difficult to deal with as well. You know, if you get the Ornn timed pretty well with the Fiddlesticks and the Galio at the same time, you're not going to be able to move, and you're going to be taking an extreme amount of damage for the entirety of the fight. So it'll be interesting to see if they can successfully execute that. Galio has seen some pretty high highs and some pretty low lows in FOF. You know, the Camille Galio compositions that were coming out never really seem to have come to fruition, but, you know, each Galio is a different player, so we'll see how it goes.
Also, very interesting, because Ruby is on such an unorthodox character in the mid lane. You know, the onus is on this Ivern to get something done against the Galio. As we see, great hook lands once again onto Escape. Threshbot gonna take that favorable trade, and that's exactly what PTP wants if they want to turn this bot side around. As it stands, Escape with about a 20 CS lead, so they need to get aggressive if they want to turn things around. But look at this, War Leader once again pathing that bot side.
War Leader's doing a really good job of just providing constant pressure. You know, ideally Caitlyn and Braum ends up winning trades, and
oh boy,
really
the ultimate connects onto 2. War Leader with a fantastic flash. Escape gonna flash forward as well, and double kill picked up for War Leader. Disaster for PTP. What a fantastic game. War Leader has been on point and all over the map today.
War Leader has this weird playoff buff thing, I swear. I don't know what it is. War Leader's not a bad jungler in any way, shape, or form. But, like, in playoffs, War Leader becomes the best jungler in FOF every single time, and it's very frustrating to me to play against, but it looks really good when you're on his team, right? And that was a level 4 Diana, or level 6 Diana versus a level 4 Vayne. Doesn't feel too good on the 80 carries part, but that is a very good gank, and they're just going to continue to probably snowball off bot and push the advantage. They're up 30 CS at this point, and if you provide pressure like that and you just are always worried about Diana, it's going to be hard to fix that CS deficit.
As we talked about in the pregame, this bottom lane is so crucial to the way both of these teams want to play. You know, RLS sort of has a secondary carry on the Diana with War Leader, but he's building that full tank build, right? Looking for that Sunfire cape. So really, it's on Escape to do the damage for this team. So getting them ahead, continuing to snowball that CS lead is absolutely critical for their team. And I really like that RLS has identified that and continues to play to that bot side.
Do you think Escape's going to go Gale Force or Kraken? I'm almost positive it's Gale Force this game, but I've seen him play Kraken Caitlyn before without lethal tempo. I think Gale Force is pretty necessary into their comp, regardless of how it feels. I don't know, I think Fiddlesticks needs to probably go bot pretty soon and try to fix it a little bit. You have 6. Either go mid and try to get the Ivern, whose flash has come back up, so you missed your window a little bit, or go bot and try to catch them because Escape doesn't have flash and you're aware of that.
PTP might be looking to set up a big play bottom. No vision available from RLS to spot out Sundara here. Hovering away, another hook's gonna land on the Tef. Threshbot has been so consistent at, trying to apply pressure on this bot side, but again, Ruby, does have that really good wave clear in the early stages of the game, and it feels like Sundara unable to leave the turret. Meanwhile, fight topside, Tadea's solo bolo anti before War Leader makes his way up here. Now on the run, has the flash available to maybe try and get out. Gonna get the grass proc for a little bit of extra heal. Flash burn, but War Leader has the flash follow. Oh my goodness! But here comes the ultimate. Sundara able to join the play. Might be able to pick up a kill. War Leader has no flash available. Sundara, though, out of cooldowns, says it's time to walk away.
Man, that was close. I think that was one auto attack off. That's kind of the pitfalls of going tank to tank item first, right? And we found that
Fiddlesticks is down here, the first gank of the game, and it's huge for him. Gets the level 6, has the ultimate available, gets the double kill once again. Fighting back and forth on this bot side.
That's exactly what you need to do on Fiddlesticks, right? Bot lane is the lane that needs the most assistance. They're also kind of your win condition this game. I mean, definitely, like, Vayne is their only champion that does really consistent damage aside from Fiddle himself. So you see that your bot lane's suffering, they've been ganked a few times, you find the window, you get your ult off, and Vayne's going to be collecting up 1 kill, 1 plate, and they're going to be getting the dragon as well, which feels pretty good. So Hextech Dragon off the board, unless... Okay, no, cool. They just grab it. That was a really good play. And Tadea's solo killed anti. Looks like the tables have turned this game a little bit in terms of who's going to be killing who over and over again. And Sundara's had a pretty good roam topside this game as well.
Yeah, and I want to remind viewers as well, this is counterpick for Anti, right? One of those players that has been very dominant for multiple seasons of this friend or foe experience, has counterpick. Tadea's early picks the Orin, they pick the Poppy into it, and now down about 10 CS and a kill. So really not finding the success that they would like to have in that top side. And Tadea's has, quietly been a powerful character in this lane. Meanwhile, War Leader going for the dive. Let's do Veil extremely low, but Threshbot once again here to save the AD carry. Sundara here on the TP. Might be able to catch up the taunt, will be able to get a little bit of damage traded back on a Tef, but look at the poke from Escape! He absolutely obliterates the Threshbot. I cannot believe how much damage that Caitlyn is doing.
Caitlyn's frustrating sometimes. Caitlyn is in a really good spot right now, and it feels pretty oppressive, especially when the Caitlyn player is playing pretty well. You're very safe, you do very consistent damage. You have the invisible trap behind the tower that Galio TPs onto and prevents, Tef from getting caught under the tower. They're going to let the minions die. Going to get the last hit on the tower. It's going to be an even stronger Caitlyn. Vayne gets out of there with 5 health left, maybe, and they just have 4 people bot side. So, and they're getting down really efficient.
Yeah, and look at this. Ruby finally joining the fight, has the Iron. Huge again! War Leader is picking up so many good ultimates, and once again, Let's Do Vayne taken out before they can even make it to the lane.
You just gotta back off that play at that point, right? You know there's 4 of them there, they have vision. You're gonna lose the tower regardless. There's nothing to really fight over in that quadrant. I mean, you're gonna lose some jungle camps, but that's preferable to losing a kill with both summoners and all your pressure and your jungle camps. So I think maybe just awareness of when you should be taking fights with your composition is something that PTP could work on a little bit for this game. Because you're not online yet, right? Fiddlesticks wasn't going to be able to effectively ult, and Vayne has almost an item. So just find your windows, play to those, start trying to cut the bleeding a little bit. It's only down 2k, not the biggest thing in the world in any way, shape, or form. And just slowly try to get your items and avoid throwing.
Well, and one plus side for PTP is they will get a bunch of experience and gold onto Creon, as he is going to be able to pick up the Sprint Herald and a good chunk of the top half of the map as well. Today is even able to shove in to get this Rift Herald rolling, which is what they're going to need, because if you look at these two compositions in a 5-man stack, it's very hard to shove out past the Caitlyn. Lots of short-range characters for PTP, so I like that they're taking the initiative with this particular objective, and might even look for a play mid lane. Threshbot gonna land the root onto Tef. Creon now in full vision. Escape once again transition into mid lane. Threshbot might be looking for the hook. Tef once again here, but here's Ruby to support the play. Here comes the ultimate. It's going to land him to escape. Galio ultimate committed as well, but unable to find the 80 carry. Meanwhile, once again, War Leader with a huge ultimate hits 3. Taddy is now on the backside trying to commit the play, but unable to find a kill secure on anyone as anti-TP's in as well to guarantee the tower. And once again, PTP unable to finish off the play.
I like the idea of what they were doing, right? Fiddlesticks going in. Escape has to burn flash. Tep doesn't have flash anymore. Unfortunately, in a straight 3v3 situation, they're behind too much gold with the bot lane being mid. So it doesn't work the best. I think maybe stay Fiddlesticks ult for being under tower and try to make a reactive play versus proactive there. Vanal was pretty happy just picking up CS and getting the tower bot. But you're definitely at a bit of a power disadvantage when the strongest player on the enemy team is mid lane versus, you know, Galio, Fiddlesticks, then Ornn's late to the ult. So really good play out of RLS. War Leader had a pretty sick 3-man ult there as well.
I mean, War Leader has just looked so comfortable on this Diana, and, you know, it's so tough for PTP to play these fights because they would really like to leverage the early strength of this Fiddlesticks, but you know, you look at the other members of your team and you are full scaling City, and Vayne is not present to be able to help those fights. Are going to drop the Rift Herald. I really like this move as Dragon is spawning in 15 seconds. That's the next objective to fight over. So they're going to use this objective first to try and get that early prio into the rear.
I think they might just give it. They don't have Galio ult. They're going to have Fiddle ult maybe a little bit after Dragon spawns. Looks like it's just about to come up. I think, ideally, you don't want... I mean, you're only down 2.5k gold, but if you don't have all of your ultimates available, you probably just give it, and yeah, it looks like Orange is going to stay topside and farm it. So if they're going to just give it, there's no point for these players to be here right now. They should just go do other things. Oh, Orange is teleporting out there.
Okay, they want the fight. They see it. Brianna on the ward. Gonna get stunned up by Tap. Able to hold on the choke point. Let's Vanal though. Free hitting. Huge ultimate from Sundara. Incredible combo. I can't believe it. They're able to land the 4-man ultimate on the backside. War Leader may be able to turn this around. Very close fight. Vanal finally falls, and Escape is still alive. Today is now trying to fight back. 2v3 secures the kill. Escape with the red buff might be able to clean this up. Ruby is so strong at supporting this play. Gonna use the escape forward. Today is taken extremely low, and ultimately 2 members on each team remaining, but it's RLS who comes out on top.
That was not a bad fight. I really didn't think that was going to go super well, and it went better than I expected. Unfortunately, they weren't able to find an angle onto escape, and that's just not what you want to see. Ivern with Moonstone is actually actively healing the Caitlyn with the E, which is kind of silly to see, but that, you know, that's the strength of the Ivern, right? You're just going to stick on your carry, you're going to provide them with shields, War Leader's going to soak a bunch of damage with his build. Finishing at Nashor's next, so that ult might actually do a lot more damage. He caught 4 people again. I don't know. The fight was better than I thought it would be, but it's still going to be a little bit awkward if you can't find a window on the Caitlyn.
Yeah, and I mean, both teams have things to think about after that match. I think, you know, Tadeas and Sundara did an incredible job buying space for Vanal. And we really saw, you know, one of the downsides of what RLS has got put together with this team is that they don't really dive forward particularly well. Oh my goodness, flash forward, aggressive play onto escape, but do they have the damage to secure the kill? Take it down extremely low. We'll finally get it. Ruby not able to keep the 80 carry alive. Great heads-up play from Sundara once again, turning things around in the mid lane.
I really like that play. I think one of the bigger things that a lot of people in general could work on is punishing flash windows, right? So you okay, well, we got some more.
They've got their counter gauge, but look at the ultimate from downtown. Freon is here and here to do battle. Manages to get the kill onto Ivern, now turning onto Tep. Masterfully played from the side of PTP. They've been looking for more. Many low health bars though. Let's do Vanal. Extraordinarily low in the back. Means that they just have to take the 1 win and walk away.
I would definitely take that win. That looked pretty good. They, you know, they got the pick on escape. They got the shutdown onto Galio, which was fantastic. And then Fiddlesticks with the I'm ulting over Raptor pit time, which is always fun to see. Picks up Ruby with the last tick. And, you know, I mean, things are looking pretty good. The gold has stabilized, you know, like they're still down the same amount they were down 8 minutes ago, which is ideal for their team comp. And while Vayne's not catching up CS-wise, which is interesting, I think they should probably try to funnel some CS towards their carry at this point. People are getting pretty strong. Ornn's in a pretty good position. They are building a lot of armor, and Escape has that armor pen, but it's still going to take more than a few autos to get through it. Extended fights right now, I would say favor PTP as long as they're able to get Escape out of the fight, but he does have that flash and Gale Force up again.
Yeah, I mean, and RLS has constructed this composition with so many tools to protect Escape as well. But we've seen moments, right? Escape can step forward. Will have the Ghost and Flash available now to help keep themselves safe, but again, Sundara and Tadeas and the Threshbot have all been working so well together to find those moments and keep PTP in this game. You know, I think that if you had asked me, 5 or 10 minutes ago, who was going to win this game, I was going to tell you RLS smashes every single time when I see Escape up 30 farm. But they've clawed it back, and now this game could really be anyone.
I agree. I think the next fight's going to be very, very indicative of how the rest of the game goes. I know a lot of fights are like that, but we're at a break point a little bit. They're probably going to try to avoid fighting until Ocean Dragon comes up. That's a really powerful dragon. You definitely want to keep it off the team with Ivern, Diana. It's really great on Ornn and Galio, so I'm expecting, hopefully they shove out top, they shove out bot, they try to get some proactive wards in the river, and they don't get caught before dragon, and then they're good to go. I'd like to actually see them maybe try to burn a cooldown or two out of, like if they could bait a Braum ult or somehow bait War Leader into going in and living off of it to make the fight a lot easier, but I think Braum ult might be the easiest to try to get ahead of dragon. It looks like they're just going to get set up for it. Don't walk in the bush, don't walk in the bush.
Great zone control from the side of RLS, especially important when you're playing against the Fiddlesticks, a character that thrives on dark zones of the jungle. So RLS
they're just taking dragon
of keeping pressure. Yes, this is exactly what you want to do. You have 4 people zoning. Don't even let people approach, and War Leader goes ahead and solos the Drake on the backside. This is an excellent choice of macro, and you can see the experience from RLS. They know how to play these situations because they've played so often in the Heroic League.
Right, no, I mean, I think that PTP really wanted to fight there. Fiddlesticks was a little bit low, so maybe not, but RLS did a very good job of controlling the choke and then not allowing them to, like you said, not giving the choke. You can always get wardens like Envision down, and you'd say like, okay, well, we know where they are, but if they can walk in, it makes the fight a lot more awkward. If you can effectively zone with 4 of your individuals while you have Diana just doing dragon on their own, that is a pretty good indicator that you're in a good position in the game. And I'd like to see what they do next. Maybe just try to bait Baron, pressure for that, and try to catch somebody out.
Yeah, so going to continue to put pressure towards this Baron. RLS wastes no time in transitioning their vision over to the other side of the map. They're actually just going to start this up. Deus is on the bot side pushing against the tower, but I don't think PTP know. Pings are now going towards the Baron as it's taken down to about 7,000 HP. Freon is here in fog, doesn't have vision. Meanwhile, they're playing for top side, so Anti will fall. But what about this? Anti manages to live. Meanwhile, Freon's still here, still has access to the ultimate, still invisible. This is so scary. He has to go and block. Ultimate going to land on a multiple members. The smite is secured. Sundara is here to try and follow up, but it's too late. And RLS walks away with shutdown for Escape and the Baron.
I really don't agree with the decision to send 2 top lane for Poppy. You drop the Scryer's Orb on Baron, you see that they have it on there. You have a Fiddlesticks, right? Fiddlesticks can't ult safely without getting his ult cancelled unless you provide pressure otherwise. So if you just walk in from the side and kind of try to get them to walk into the Fiddlesticks ult, it's going to be a lot better. Anti played that very well, drew a lot of pressure, didn't die, and launched 2 people even farther away from Baron, where the Baron was. And now they're just going to kind of run down.
My goodness, Threshbot just barely able to live. Vanal now trying to use the ultimate to get something done. Manages to pick up 1 kill. War Leader and Anti sort of in the back here. TP committed, will secure the kill onto Vanal, and now 4 on 3. The flash over the wall, huge place. going absolutely crazy, but they don't have the damage anymore. Escape is just too healthy. Ruby, with the healing, is able to keep Escape alive, and they walk out scot-free.
I am amazed at how long some of those champions live being auto-attacked by Vayne with Kraken and ult and Rageblade going. Vayne will positioned actually pretty well for that fight. I think aside from the tumble forward, you know, you got a lot of you did your job for the most part. You got a lot of damage out, and the Cavalry was just a little bit late to showing up to help with the peel. And because of that, you know, Escape's free hitting. Burn bolted his summoners, so they have a window to do something. But at the same time, War Leader has Flash and Ultimate now, and War Leader's been looking pretty gross, like we've been talking about. So I think the play would just be probably 4-1 it. Poppy doesn't have TP, but you could always just send Poppy mid, send 4 bot, try to pick up that tower, or even just go mid and pick up the second tier 2. There's a lot of things that they could do right now, and just prep for the dragon. Escape just doing a little harass ult onto Vanel. Gotta hurt a little bit. Whoa, that's actually a lot of damage. What the heck?
Yeah. And no lifesteal. I mean, just the Vam Scepter picked up for Vanel is going to go ahead and send the recall. But I think something that we haven't touched on yet is that look at Creon's items. He has not yet completed, finally, able to complete that ever so essential Zanya's Hour. For the last 2 fights has been, you know, sitting like a naked duck, unable
Look
to
at that gold difference in the jungle.
Yeah, it's absolutely massive for Diana, but now finally able to get that crucial item might be able to turn things around for PTP as they try to stop the siege. But again, you know, this combination of Ivern and Caitlyn is so strong. You prevent getting line of sight for the fear from the Fiddlesticks, and you're just giving them so much extra healing and shielding. Which just becomes incredibly difficult to push in and actually get something happen. War Leader maybe going in, manages to land a huge ultimate. Dara's here to counter, going to land onto War Leader, but he doesn't take any damage. Vadal just now finally joining the fight. Creon is here, but is totally alone, able to choke out somebody, but not able to get enough damage onto anything. And look at this, RLS is smashing with 5 members alive. They pick up 4, and this is looking like another doomed game for PTP.
It's definitely, I would say it's pretty doomed at this point, I agree. Escape is up like 100 CS, you know, I mean, Vayne, in lane you want to be down not too much CS, but a little bit's okay, right? Because you're playing for scaling. 100's pretty rough, and I think, you know, it's pretty odd to even see that because they were only down 30 coming out of lane. So maybe just work on the lane allocation a little bit better. You have Ornn soaking pretty heavily, and Poppy, you know, Poppy could have been elsewhere. I guess Ornn could have been elsewhere, while Vayne matched Poppy for a lot of these things for earlier objectives. Fiddlesticks did not clear as effectively as War Leader did, and to be fair, War Leader's playing, I'd say, pretty much a perfect game this game. 197 CS to 144. You know, almost all of that is exclusively jungle camps. I haven't seen War Leader taking it inside CS. And Galio is... I think Galio's a good champion. I don't know if Galio's a great answer into Ivern, because Ivern doesn't care about doing damage, and Galio doesn't do a lot of damage. So you're mostly just trading utility for utility, and if your Caitlyn's going to play this well, I'd rather have somebody that runs Moonstone than a stun bot, kind of. Right.
It's definitely been challenging for PTP to find the damage and secure these skills. So many times you've seen Sundara just land so much crowd control on the enemy team. You know, he's landing three-man knockups, multi-man taunts, every single one of these team fights, but, you know, Vanel unfortunately set far enough behind that it's looking very, very difficult to actually secure those kills, particularly with Ruby, you know, so powerful on the Ivern. It's very, very difficult. And I have to say, this RLS squad, this is like championship level RLS. I remember playing against this team you know, in the Heroic League finals on Rex, and this is exactly the same kind of pressure that brought them to the finals of a Heroic League tournament. They have been looking so good and so clean, and it feels like PTP is just constantly on the back foot trying to find anything that they can.
I would agree with that. I would say that PTP is suffering from a lot, like what we see from a lot of teams, is they make really good early proactive plays, but once the mid game comes around, they seem very, very lost as to what to do, versus RLS seeming to have a very clear plan of exactly what they want to do and how they want to do it. And you know, that just lends to, while you already had a little bit, it makes it a lot easier to extend your lead when you have a plan.
Yeah, off screen, War Leader taking the 1v1 against Grion. Flash is burned. Look at the top side in the jungle. We got a fight going on. War Leader now walking out of there, going to be burning the Ignite. But look at the pressure from the cross map. Anti able to send people packing back to the base. Inhibitor is taken, number 1 for BBZ. And you can see the ultimate from Escape is absolutely crazy. Freshbot now maybe looking at going at the hook onto War Leader, taken pretty low. But here comes the ultimate. But again, no damage available just yet. Here comes the ultimate. It gets stopped by Poppy on the side, unable to find the Fiddlesticks ultimate, and the rest of PTP unable to join the fight. The flash forward from Escape, and he obliterates AD carry.
Gross.
Oh my goodness, let's do Fatal, getting completely shut down. This is looking like a quadra kill for Escape, and another dominant way to close out. We thought that this was an unorthodox strategy, but BBZ, excuse me, RLS, goddamn it, Escape,
How
you're
dare
messing me
you?
up.
How dare
RLS,
you?
crush it once again.
Yeah, that's what happened. I think there was just a severe lack of damage on PTP's side. Honestly, Ornn and Galio played very, very, very well, right? Like, they layered their CC in that fight fantastically, but I was worried that Fiddlesticks would get, just kind of knocked out by Poppy, and it ended up happening in the last fight. It didn't matter too much at that point, but that game got away from them pretty quickly. Everybody on RLS looked amazing. War Leader looked fantastic. Escape, quit doing so much damage. Tired of it, dude. Like, just go play Mythic. Get out of here. Really, really good game from them.
Man, and I can feel the nerves on PTP. They had so many good moments of brilliance in this match. Sundara's Galio legitimately looked so good. Had so many clutch ultimates, was consistently providing a huge front line for the team. But, unfortunately just not able to find it. And, I think Creon's Fiddlesticks somewhat misaligned this game. This character can be really strong, has opportunities to be extraordinarily powerful, but, once you're set behind, it becomes harder and harder to find those big ultimates once you lose the vision control. And I felt like RLS just played the game more cleanly and were able to come up with a win. That's going to be it for myself and Erebus on the cast today, but stay tuned for game number 3, RLS PTP. RLS looking to close it out and advance themselves even further in the tournament. Don't go anywhere. Cannot wait to see what happens next.
Hi, guys.
Feel loving every time I could call you mine. I don't know why I'm being the one feeling stupid. I'm feeling stupid now. So now it's time for the goodbyes. Everything dies while the sunrise. Oh, you're alive. It's time for the goodbyes. Everything dies while the sunrise. Oh, you're alive. Oh, you're alive. I'm gonna shut my mouth when you say what's on your mind. I can see the pain in your eyes. First I'm left, then I'm right. Don't know how to keep my calm. Baby, don't you tell your lies. It's time for the goodbyes. Everything dies while the sunrise. Oh, you're alive. Oh, you're alive.
RLS's big, unique strength, and has been their entire existence as an organization, is their teamwork and the fact that everyone is, knows each other so well out of game and gets along so well out of game. And that makes them really coordinated as a team, and it makes them really unlikely to give up even when they're faced with disadvantageous circumstances in the early game. And that's a really strong backbone for a playoff run, when you can get behind and you're not worried about it, when you know that you have the best team play of any team. You can just trust yourself. No matter what happens, we're going to take a final team fight, and we always have a chance. And so I think RLS definitely has the teamwork edge.
Hey everyone, welcome to the broadcast. This is game 3 of RLS versus PTP. Heroic playoffs in the, I guess it's not the semifinals, it's like the round of 6, because anyway, look up the seeding rules. It's game 3. How are you doing, Build a Voting?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm excited for these quarterfinals. Some very fun, crazy teams coming together here. And hopefully, mental staying together. These best of fives are always really difficult. But, I think PTP's got a chance here. They got to come back. They got to do the reverse sweep.
Yeah, they can do it. They can do it. And they are doing a last-minute roster substitution, as I believe Vanel had some personal issue come up. So they do have a new player subbing in for them. I don't quite recall their handle, but it's probably on the overlay on broadcast.
Yep, it's Carrots. Carrots. Their emergency. Yeah, it's their emergency sub. I don't think they've played for them yet this season, but no time to sub in like the playoffs.
Yeah, and I do love carrots. They're a very delicious vegetable. And it looks like Carrots is a support main. They play mostly Morgana, Nami, and Thresh are the 3 top play champions in there, currently in Gold 2. So a respectable player. Not necessarily someone you think of for the AD carry position, though, as they don't really play a ton of those champions. But as a support main, as long as they can CS, they will have an understanding of that laning dynamic. So I wouldn't be surprised if PTP throws in some spicy draft options, but no, they're actually going to elect for a conventional AD carry in the form of Ezreal.
Interesting. I was going to say that Carrots does have a 60% win rate in solo queue with Senna. So maybe they go somewhere that route, but it doesn't look like it. So, yeah, very, very exciting to see these teams coming together, seeing things kind of moving around a bit. You start to get to a point sometimes in these best of fives where you just got to throw something at the wall, see if it sticks, try some new things, shake it up a little bit, keep your team fresh. And so already the Kane coming in, that's played previously by Creon earlier this season. Creon has done actually very well with this team when they have subbed in previously. I believe it was before that last loss, had a 75% win rate. So really,
is Creon
really
in? I see Gandorf's in on overlay.
Okay, well that could be on overlay.
I see. Got it. Okay. That is
Creon played the last game, so I kind of assumed it was the same, but that could have been a mistake. But it sounds like
all right. Got it. We're figuring it out.
Professional outfit here.
Yeah. I prepped a ton for this. Anyway, Kane's getting locked in here, and I actually like this pick a lot. Because you see Darius Moon and Misfortune on the other side, and you have Ezreal Yuumi. So you don't want to play front to back against that. Like, Ezreal's not a premier backline front to back DPS character. He's a survivable AD carry, but he's not going to stand still, auto attack, full DPS win against Misfortune Ultimate. So then you say, we're just not going a team fight. We're going to pick Kane, we're going to put Yuumi on Kane, and then Kane's going to run around at 1,000,000 miles per hour at Mach speed, one shot Misfortune, and then leave. So then you never have the team fight. So I like that adaptation. Let's see if they can play to their own game plan. The Ornn gets locked here into the Darius. Pretty interesting choice.
Yeah, when I think of Ornn, I think of somebody who does want to team fight. So maybe a little lack of synergy there, but still just a really tanky, beefy boy who's very popular. Maybe somebody that they'll feel safe and comfortable with in the top lane against the very aggressive Darius pick. Ultimately, in that promo video, Tadeus called out Anti, told him to fight me, man. Come on, fight me. Darius is quite the fighter. We'll look to see them probably be very aggressive early in the lane.
Yeah, it looks like we have Gwen locked in for War Leader, and it's going to be Talia for Ruby. Talia definitely a senior champion for Ruby, but the Gwen a little bit of a surprise. Don't normally expect to see that. But I know War Leader has played it, maybe been asking for it. And we'll have to see if he's able to make that work, because that is a lot of magic damage on the side of RLS. They have magic damage from Amumu, Gwen, and Talia. But they do still have the Misfortune and the Darius. So it's just a really high damage comp, a lot of CC, a lot of AoE damage, but they maybe lack some of the mobility options that are available for Pentakill Teemo Please. They have the Ziggs Ezreal combo to permanent wave clear, and Sundara has shown a lot of presence in these past 2 matches. Ziggs is a champion who can stall out the game. So I think if Pentakill Teemo Please, they can just get time and get the time they need. They have a lot of tools that are going to be really good scale. Like they have Ornn, Kane, Yuumi. Ezreal and Ziggs can play super safely during the mid game. So overall, I think PTP's drat adaptation makes a ton of sense here. And I think, you know, if there's time to bet on PTP, their back's against the wall, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually see that Anti is going to be the one on Gwen. We have War Leader taking Darius into the jungle. I haven't seen a lot of Darius jungle, but I think that's a fun and exciting pick. We got BBZ looking to invade.
Yeah, pretty excited for it. Darius jungle, I'm pretty sure it kind of blows, but, you know, maybe he gets first blood, it'll be better.
I'm getting trolled by Escape's name. It's actually RLS who's invading right now. This isn't Mythic League, but they got spotted out on the ward as they entered, so PTP knows exactly where they are. They're pushing Vision on the top side for that blue buff.
Oh, interesting. Didn't we also see Escape in the support role this game? Didn't we have Escape in the AD carry position last game?
Yes.
So they're mixing it up.
Good catch on that front.
Oh, look at this. PTP playing the pick here, the jungle. I think this is going to work. They see Anti and he's alone. Here we go. And they find him. He's getting locked down to Deus, trying to find that CC layer. Can he get it? Oh, he doesn't flash because it's Ignite Teleport. Anti gets punished, and an amazing start for Creon. He's going to get the blue buff, and it looks like... Oh, wait. Oh, okay, I got confused. My brain lagged for a second because I saw Mumu walk away from red buff, but all right, so moves for Darius jungle. How delicious. And it looks like War Leader is keen on the vertical, so he will be able to play that cross map and figure out the camps of the bottom quadrant.
Yeah, absolutely, which is, I think, in favor of RLS. While Ezreal is hard to lock down, if you can put a lot of pressure on him, he wants to scale. They are going to want to try and punish him early before him and the Yuumi are able to scale. So definitely in their benefit, I think, to have their Darius sitting on the bottom side of the map and playing pretty safe.
Yeah, I missed this earlier, but hold up. We actually have Sundar in the bottom lane position and Carrots on Ziggs mid, so they actually end up player flexing. That actually makes a ton of sense. If you're doing a last minute sub, it makes sense to have kind of your synergy on the team in the bottom lane. It's kind of hard to ask your support to lane with a brand new person who you haven't practiced with. And then if you have this guy who plays mages in support role, sure, you can wave pair on Ziggs mid. Especially against Ruby, who's someone who's not super widely known for his lane pressure. He's more of a team play player. So I think that's a really great adaptation to meet the needs of this new roster.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Freshbot has primarily played Hook Champion so far this season. So switching on to the Yuumi, I think, is also about that synergy. I think you need a little bit less synergy when you've got an Enchanter that's just kind of sitting on top of you.
What do you mean? Yuumi's a super high coordination champion and is extremely skill-based.
I believe that it is skill-based.
Sometimes you're like...
hop on and hop off.
Yeah, right. Like, you know... takes a really high IQ to fully appreciate gameplay, so you know, not everyone can understand the power of Yuumi.
Yeah, it is very powerful. It's getting picked, you know, all throughout Worlds. Very, very popular. And yeah, well, so what are we looking at here with the kind of the lane states right now? We haven't had a lot of action outside of that level 1. We've got Gwen, despite dying level 1, was able to teleport in, has a 10 CS lead right now.
Oh, Sundari, he's flashing away. He's almost got hit by that ankle breaker from War Leader, but nah, he gets out of there. He's moving out of there, uses his flash. He's just gonna stand up here and shoot his little Ezreal cubes, little arcane missile. Yes.
Yeah. Besides Mumu, they don't have
Anti in some danger. The perfect dodge on Creon's lockdown, and Anti doesn't get CC'd and is able to scoot on out of that one. That was a pretty close one.
Yep, compositionally, RLS doesn't have a lot that can lock down this Ezreal. So if Ezreal can start to scale, can start to get ahead, I think that they'll really have a tough time answering him, and they're putting a lot of pressure on him down here.
But spot a little bit of danger. He's leaving me alone, but he's been hit by the bandage toss. Escape looking to convert into the second kill. Tef running them down with the move speed, and Sudar is going to have to limp away from that one. No mana available. Threshbot getting in for those autos to get mana back, but you just get hit by bandage toss. Escape sends him to an early grave, early cat funeral. A pet cemetery. Anyway, there's some fighting half top lane. Today's crashing this wave. War Leader is gonna run at him, and he's Darius with Ghost. He gets to the hook, doesn't even, oh, he does pop the Ghost. Today's trying to slide on out of there. Can he get to the safety of his tower? He does, but it's too little too late. And the tower shot does not claim a return victim. Today's dead without teleport, and it looks like RLS will crash his top wave and maybe look to get that tower, maybe a few plates.
Yeah, that was a bit of a risky play. That was a massive wave they were ganking into. But with Tadeus leaving the wave behind, was able to continue to get damage on him without taking that wave, and he got the kill. So they'll be able to get this push in, get the crash in, and allow Anti to get a safe recall back.
It's not going unanswered though, right? Because we see Creon on the bottom side of the map with the Thresh bot on his back. They can't, however, get the Dragon because Escape is here to foil their plans with his pesky, meddlesome roaming. So he's going to be able to deter them, and meanwhile, Tef is just slow stacking this wave bottom. Really unfortunate there for PTP. They're not able to convert that and capitalize on the asymmetric map pressure.
Yep, and we're having our best.
Buzz goes down Sundara. I'm gonna have to interrupt you, Bill, because we're battling. It's battle time for Yon, getting this damage off. And Sundara looking to convert Creon, going super low force out of the play. Ziggs ultimately goes down, and Ezreal picks up the kill. Sundara looking for more. No, he's going to play slowly, and Tef maybe try to aggressively play up here, but no, it's just going to be the kill going over Sundara. That was a huge play, and exactly what PTP needed to stabilize this. Karis gets caught on their lonesome here in the replay. It looks like War Leader found them and just executes him brutally. So it is actually going to be 1-for-1. Nice heads up roam there by Carrots, but caught with his pants down a little bit, and he gets spanked a couple times in the river. As a roam-oriented player myself, this has happened to me many times, so understandable. You got your map looking bottom lane, not looking at your character, and some pesky jungle just attacks you when you're not looking. It's so rude. Today is gonna walk away from this, and I think he's out of there. He's out of there. I knew, but that's why I was in casting.
Yeah, understood. It actually, the play on Carrots reminded me a little bit of a certain clip of you getting auto-attacked by BBZ Red at the time as you're just running up to top lane to...
I knew you could kill me.
Yeah,
I was
he had no mana. He had no mana. You just walked right through him. Unfortunately, in this case, War Leader did have mana. And
he had a lot of mana, Speaking of War Leader and his mana bar, he's bringing it to the bottom lane, casting his spell, gets that hook on the Destroy, though, and Ezreal, he gets out of there, throws up the campfire. Oh my god, this guy, he's crazy.
Yeah, to be fair.
Whoa, wait, are they still fighting? Wait, Escape found the Banish Toss, but Observer Client doesn't care about that on Auto Observe, but they trade the kills 1-for-1. But overall, I think you got to be happy about that for PTP. You get the trade kill. Gold goes on Ezreal, whereas the kill goes over to Escape on the other side. Ignite goes down in the replay. Ezreal is trying to walk away, but with the Ignite running, just not enough healing from Yuumi. So
yeah, absolutely. If they're able to push this in here, it looks like Ruby has a little bit of prio. They may be able to transition this into getting the dragon.
They're gonna look at it and then recall. Yeah, recalling's good. Love recalling.
That is a good way to spend your gold and convert it into stats. I hear.
Yeah, stats are good. I'm pro stats, actually. One of my controversial opinions. Oh, Creon! Whoa, hold up here, because Tef recalling greedily in the bush. Creon getting that ultimate damage off, and Ghost forced out by some Misfortune. Can he convert the kill? He doesn't have ultimate to juggle the tower aggro. Force the flash out defensively. That's the power of Ghost, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we've been seeing it more and more popular as a defensive.
Carrots, he's really low. He just is gobbled up, and Ruby is totally fine. And it's going to be that skill inside of RLS.
We got fighting in the top lane now.
Oh, today as he slides on out there, we're good. A lot of damage, but not a lot of death. And oh my god, speaking of death, okay, we are going to have some death. Creon passes away in the middle lane. Hasn't actually bought anything except boots yet, so I wonder what they're going to buy on this back. Probably should have recalled a little earlier to pick up some gold. Buys that Iron Spike Whip and the double longsword. That will help us clear a ton. I guess we're going to see red game this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Escape has been all over the place, very impactful. has a 66% kill participation. Actually, even higher if you take into consideration his deaths as well. So, very impactful, high impact score so far in this game, but make a big impact for sure.
Karis looks to defend this top tower. He's gonna try and clear out the wave, but Tadeus overextends. However, they do trade back 1 kill, maybe 2. Karis throws out the ultimate, but it doesn't do anything because the War Leader is just moving on out there with Ghost. But Creon, he's not done. He's looking for violence, but he does not find it. He's gonna have to turn his sight to the Krugs, a weaker and more docile target. Oh, never mind. They're both going to run into each other in the jungle because War Leader also wants to battle Ruby. Coming in from the flank, Creon in a little bit of danger, sidesteps. Ah, they missed the hook. And I think Karis is going to be able to defend this, but he's so low.
Got the angle.
Meanwhile, we got double kill the bottom lane. I have no idea how that even happened, but let's see what I don't know. Go replay. It's
taking
okay,
we're
back.
Lane.
So it looks like they're just full health farming, doing literally nothing. Nothing's happening. No one could possibly die in this situation. But Ezreal, he's in. He gets baited, and Escape is waiting there the entire time. Let's explode early into this portion. Will just tear Sundar apart. It's a kill for Tef, and Escape leveling up off that kill gets that ultimate onto the Yuumi, and Trashbog also sees to live.
War Leader is living on the edge here.
He's leading the war. He's the battle boy, the battle guy.
Ruby is going to be in trouble with this here. Maybe he can trade back on the Creon.
Yeah, he's just gonna die there. I probably was supposed to play by that, but yeah, you know, like I thought for sure Creon lives. You know, I was confident.
Well, we are at 14 deaths at 11 minutes, so your voice is probably going to go pretty quick if you play by every single fight. So
yeah, we gotta save some for the late game.
Absolutely. And we got to save some for next game because, of course, we are believers. We believe that there will be a next game. I believe.
True. Casting for next game in advanced caster strategy. We see Tef picking up the crap. No, we're not picking up the crap here. We're going mid lane. Karis is We'll have to slide on out of here because Zake's without mana, kind of useless champion.
Yeah, it's that other type caster. That's about it.
True.
Oh, boy. It's true. Some have much less useful passives as well. So,
with the mid wave shoved in, I think they're turning the sights to Dragon here, Bill.
Yeah, I think so. Or they're just running to go kill bot lane.
Oh yeah, never mind. They're just gonna end Sundara's life once again. Yuumi ultimately gets thrown down forward. They disengage at 10, but the angle's a little bit off. Sundara just gets locked down permanently and really lands that easy knockback. It's gonna be a kill onto the cat too, and yeah, it's
time. I think.
I don't know. RLS, they're looking a little bit unstoppable, and I think it's Dragon time. Also known as Yubi time.
I was wondering, have you seen the most recent 007 James Bond film?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the latest Yubi match, but I actually haven't seen the latest Bond film.
It actually really cried.
Wow, that's a tearjerker. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I cry a lot more.
Speaking of James Bond, it looks like War Leader's trying to James Bond his way into this bush. He's just sneaking here, waiting, looking for those kills, but he's gonna get counter James Bonded. Creon lurking with Yuumi, and they're trying to battle him with that Yuumi healing, even up 2 levels. I don't know if War Leader can win. So much damage going through it. It's Yuumi Threshbot picking up the kill. Oh my god, that was crazy.
Oh man. Well, clearly Creon is the better James Bond of the 2 James Bonds.
Yeah, I mean there can only be one James Bond. I think that's how James Bond goes, right?
No, I think there's actually a lot of James Bonds, like, over the years, because it's been such a long franchise.
Oh, okay. Canonically, is it like the same guy, or is it like...
Yes.
Is it like a different multiverse James Bond? You know?
Well, we never know. Maybe there will be a reveal at some point that it is actually multiverse situation, but...
Yeah.
They're looking to dive Tef here at the bottom.
Yeah, Tef is... I don't think he can live, but can he trade? That's the question. Sundar holding aggro for his compatriots. And Creon, okay, Yubi's OP, and then Threshbot saves his teammate's life. Creon just slides on out there. Just a little cane pock slide. And War Leader, though, maybe looking for vengeance. He has Ghost. A very good vengeance-seeking summoner spell, and Ruby here to back up his team. Sundar gets stun locked. Can't even move. Creon is going to try and escape with his friend, Yubi. Creon gets taken down, and it's just this lone Yubi trying to escape. Threshbot battling as hard as he can. War Leader stands still, getting the kill to Ruby. It's a triple kill.
Yeah, there wasn't much chance for that cat at that point in time. I think they were even doing a little bit of dancing. But Ruby just has too much taste for blood and just wants to kill the cat.
Yeah, you know, someone call PETA because Ruby's here. Beating up Yumi. I'm just gonna beat up that bottom wave too, but hold that thought as Carrots is permanently immobilized. Curse of the Sad Bull Tide goes through just for one person. He just gets obliterated.
Absolutely. We are now at 22 kills in a 14, almost 15-minute game. A lot of bloodshed, a lot of dead kitties. I don't know if this is actually safe for, I don't know if this is safe for Twitch. We might
yeah, we might have to check Twitch TOS here. Maybe there's too much animal abuse, but anyway, this tower is being abused. Because Steph's shooting it with his gun, and the tower does go down. Creon gives him a little visit. Just gonna slide on out of there. Escape's covering his back.
Almost.
All right, it's looking kind of grim here. Yeah, it's looking kind of grim here for PTP. But is there a way for them to get back in this game, Bill? I don't know.
They do have scaling. Scaling Copium.
Scaling's good. Copium.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got the Yumi, they've got the Ezreal. They can pump out so much damage if they can get those items in the later game. Gorn, of course, is always known for scaling, giving the additional stats. So they pretty much have to try and get to full build, I think, at this point to be able to come back in here.
Yeah, it's
so hard against a team fighting team like RLS.
Yeah, they're gonna have to look for these side lane picks, just like this actually, because Creon gets the smite down, gets inside the field so the anti can't dodge. The question is, do they have the damage to actually convert this kill? They're trying, but Escape is here for the counter game. Carrot's getting incredibly low, but Sundar is here with the threat spot. Yubi goes over to get the healing, and Kane getting so much damage. Not challenged at all. This is exactly the not a team fight situation you were talking about. Bill the Pony and War Leader. He's gonna try and save the play, but can he do it? Or is it just another kill over the side of PTG? They're running in one anti-portal goes through today's. It's a huge knockup, and he's looking to convert for more. And Sudara is just gonna run him down. A huge set of kills over for PTP. You know, we were just talking about what they needed to do. They needed a situation that wasn't a front-to-back team fight. Tef was in the bottom lane. TTP all in on this top side pick, and because RLS counters, they don't anticipate that PTP is all in on this play. The 5-man play into the top side of the map, they wipe RLS off of the rift, and they get huge amounts of gold back. That's exactly what they need to scale into that late game that they so badly need. Check the bounty.
So much of the gold difference is in that bot lane with the AD carries. So being able to just go to the opposite side of the map of that misfortune and fight those skirmishes, that's the way that they can get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, they need to avoid those team fight situations if they can, but it's going to be tricky. They do have tools to get picks with Yumi Kane playing in the back, and then Ezreal Ziggs just trying to kite out. I think PTP does have the tools to come back in this game. They need to take really unfair fights, though, because with this gold disadvantage and the compositional difference, if they take a fair fight, it's going to go to the side of RLS every single time.
Absolutely. They have to... they have those tools to run them down. It's really hard to get away from an Ezreal or a team that has these, so they can just run them down, but they can't chase them too far because then they'll be running into a sad mummy as well as a misfortune ult. So they got to make those quick, decisive movements in order to get the picks quickly.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really important. We gotta watch Amumu, and we also have from Escape, and we also have to watch Rudy's Talia, because both of them have abilities that are really disruptive to Yumi. Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to lock down Yumi if she pops out, and Talia, the E, is also going to interrupt Yumi Dash, which is potentially really devastating. Actually, it might not interrupt, but it still does a lot of damage. Yumi will basically one-shot herself over the rocks if he tries to cross. So those are going to be two spells that are critical to whether or not PTP can win fights. They need to outplay those spells and get Kane in the backline so that he can't be CC'd continuously. Oh, War Leader, he's looking for damage. He finds Sundar with the hook, and he doesn't even have to blow Ghost Dude. Sundar's running away, and it looks like the Thresh Bot barely saves AD carry with that last-minute clutch heal. That's going to be Ghost. No, not Ghost, just the ultimate from Darius, but they do get everyone out alive, so they are going to continue to stall and wave clear this, so we'll have to match the top side of the map as Anti's pushing, but the Herald gets struck mid.
Yeah, absolutely. The Israel flash was burned.
UB! Ah, get out there, Bertrand! He's running away, and he's good. He's good. He's safe. Ooh, okay, sorry, I got worried there for the cat.
Yeah, I frequently get worried for the cat. So much cat murder. Absolutely. I don't really know what to say next. This is a really fun game to cast with you, Civillock. You're a really fun guy.
Yeah, I try. We keep it lighthearted, get spicy, get our dank memes in, and Anti has claimed the tier 2 top tower. So that siege isn't for nothing. They get a lot of gold and they get a lot of structures off the map. Oh wait, hold up. War leader overextending once again. Maybe because Creon is looking for damage. A great ultimate. Dodges the Darius spills, prevents him from escaping the blast plant, and Sundar, who scoops up that kill. Not a bad play, if I say so. You know, PTP is getting gold back. You know, they're not going out without a fight. They still have objective bounties available for themselves. Carrots maybe a little bit overextended. I don't think he can get away from Anti. He's gonna try and tilt. Ow! Is there? Wait. Gwen just does way too much, but it was a really cool attempt. I love that idea of trying to teleport out. You know, recognize that Gwen doesn't have that CC available, but unfortunately, it's just not quite enough damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Gwen's hit the 2-item spike. The other thing is we just hit 20 minutes, and now we have Baron spawned, which is going to be in the advantage of RLS. It's yet another objective on the map for them to play around and try and force PTP to come into those dangerous areas. So face them as a team, face them like a, well, it's not gender.
Anyway, we're battling, so we're gonna pull back. Creon is locked down by Curse of the Sad Mummy and can't use his ultimate in time. Actually, they're still on cooldown. Sundar having to dodge the bullet time, and they do get out, so only Creon goes down. With Escape's ultimate down, I don't think they can necessarily dive, but with the man advantage, they may just be able to capture mid-tower wholesale.
Despite, well, they got the wave clear here, they don't have the wave coming in, but, you know, they might be able to transition this into controlling that jungle some more and threatening the Baron here, it looks like. Or recalling and spending their gold.
Okay, you know what they say, more money, more problems, so you gotta go home, gotta blow that fat wad of cash onto something, and it looks like it's tons of cool items. We actually see that Bloodthirster completed second by Tap, which is super cool. In the little known interaction, I had to educate my 80 carat Jeff God Gamer about this actually. Misfortune, when she has the BT shield, she does not break Strut because Strut is only broken, the passive move speed, when you take damage, and taking shield damage doesn't constitute health damage, so you actually keep the move speed as long as you have Bloodthirster shield on, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, as you said, RLS is great at blowing their fat wad of cash on in the shop and being able to convert it into those stats to slap the other team around.
Yeah.
With their
That's
big
deep.
fat
That's deep.
wallet. So,
we're going to be battling for this dragon, and it represents Soul Point for RLS. And if they are able to secure this, it puts PTP on a pretty brutal timer. But if PTP can get this, they get the dragon stats, they get the objective bounty, and they get, most importantly, time for themselves. So this is going to be a really critical fight. Let's see if PTP can turn this around. They're kind of handshaking this front-to-back play. They need to set up the flank in order to make this favorable for themselves, but at least they have their backline fighting safely over the wall. They're kiting back, and RLS is getting kind of pulled back and forth here. The wall actually is coming in huge for PTP. Today, however, getting beaten up by Anti. They're zoning out the other team through the trip, but RLS is just going to force Todeus gets isolated on his own, but there's no one left for Creon. Oh no, he gets obliterated by the bull time. He already committed his ultimate. It's up to Kratos. Carrots. And Sudara, they're trying to kite out and turn this fight around, but I don't think they have quite enough damage. This is kind of just gold difference speaking, but Sudara, he's not done. He's fishing at the edge, but gets walled up by Ruby Carrots and Thresh Bot. They're trying to escape, but Anti is bloodthirsty. He's looking for these kills. He's not able to get it, but he's not able to die either because he's just unkillable. He's just sliding everywhere. Sundar trying to join his team, but he's sandwiched. I'm running out of breath, Bill, because Anti, he's not done fighting yet either. He's gonna heal off the Gromp and maybe look to turn this. And I think I can breathe a little bit. Oh no, we're not done. Sundar, he gets moved on over the wall. Anti fights him. And I think we have to be done, right? Because Carrot, no, we're not done. Today is teleporting behind, but Carrot has no mana. Doesn't even have teleport available. I think today is isolated himself 1v3, but no, we have Creon coming back in with Yubi, and he's looking for the kill. Ruby kills Sineas, but that's not it, because Creon, he's picking up the other kill. He ultimates, he's going to heal so much here. He's timing out the Ignite. It goes back to basically full, but Ruby locks them down. And the Yubi's dead. Yubi in the... okay.
In summary, the cat has died again. Very unfortunate, very sad. But I appreciate your dedication. Breathing is optional when you're a caster doing play-by-play. Oh, nice.
So RLS, they do get the inhib, but losing that mental just they probably can't end, but maybe they can because War Leader's ghost in, he's schmoovin', and they get the kill on Carrots, which is a big part of their wave clear, but with Syndara alive, I think Syndara will be able to hold this. It's still looking really grim for PTP, but, you know, this is their tournament life, this is do or die, so, you know, they're going to fight it out, and I think, you know, they're making it look competitive. There are ways for RLS to mess up here, and especially with the objective bounties available, maybe it's just one Baron steals all PTP needs to scale it up in the late game and turn Creon into this unkillable demon.
Yeah, before that, you know, we got another fight going on.
War Leader maybe overstaying his welcome here because there's a Kayn inside him and he gets scooped up with Baron on the map. This could be PTP's play back in the game. They're looking for it, and RLS is going to be late for the setup, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't know what to do once Kayn was inside of him. They have the mana damage. Israel's starting to pump out some damage.
RLS is so split. This is not the front to back that they need, and Escape is a little bit isolated. Syndara's trying to hit, but Kayn just goes after Finn and starts to fight Garrett. This is completely alone. I thought it was a flank for PTP, but they kind of outflank themselves here because RLS is able to death ball to the center in the Baron pit. They take the fight that they want. Ruby sliding in on the side on the Weaver's wall. Escape fighting the lockdown. It looks like PTP gets totally wiped. I think this may be the game.
Yeah, it was looking like it was going to be a 4v5, but they kind of was able to actually fight 4v1 and then fight the 4v4 afterwards. So, disjointed fight. Unfortunately, PTP was a little bit split out there, and RLS was able to just cut them apart.
Hop back to this.
Let's watch that
exactly
again.
What happened. Take us away, Bill. What's the post-fight analysis?
Post-fight analysis is that Kane's gonna kind of get caught out here. He's positioned right in the middle. The threat of escape is going to cut him off from escaping with the rest of the team, and Harris from the backside as well. So they're able to zone off with the threat of the Amumu curse of the mummy, and then eventually they get caught by the curse anyways on the backside once they've already dealt with the other team members. So split up fight. Unable to engage there. They don't really have the engage tools. They couldn't pick it because they couldn't get within the threat range of the Amumu, which is a massive feather.
I think this is going to be the conclusion of the game if RLS recognize they can end through bottom lane with their two super minions, but no, Def is just going to do red buff, I guess. So that's cool.
I forgot that they changed roles. This seems like an escape move. Very, very well known for CSing very effectively.
Alright, well, Escape doesn't want to end the game, so he's going to do that. And meanwhile, Ruby getting Kayn ulted is going to go down. Escape without any mana available. Creon's going to end his life. Kind of an interesting tactical play by RLS as they try to do the Baron while anti-teleports out to try to end the game. This is slightly confused, but they might be up too much gold for it to go wrong. Anti, he's 1v5, he's immune, and he's hitting Creon who goes down. He's trying to escape, but no, he goes down. There's too much damage available, but on the other side of the map, RLS is going to secure the Baron, and with that captured, I think that should be the end of the game. Probably later.
Yeah. They've only got it on 2 of their members, but 2 of their members should be plenty. As we've already got one inhib down, we got an inhib turret down, so they got a perfect situation to just 4-1 and just walk the waves in. And there's, you know, they only have really good wave clear on the side of Ziggs. Everybody else doesn't clear that effectively, and so if they've got 2 Baron empowered waves coming in at the same time, it's going to be really hard for them to defend that.
Yeah, they can secure these Baron empowered minion waves, and Taff is going to get his other red buff so that they can push down mid, and they don't even have to do that because they can start that dragon in 30 seconds. So for Earth's Soul, they're going to force PTP out of their base into the dangerous jungly paths, and Thrash Body's totally alone. War Leader finds him. Go back for Yubi! Somebody save Yubi! They get the knock up, and Yubi ulti goes down. They figured it out, but Yubi bleeds. Yubi bleeds. It can't live. War Leader ghosting out. It can't live. It can't live. No way. He's so upset, but he's too fast. Creon getting the knock up, and now PTP, they're running for the hills, but the hills have turned on them as Ruby warping the ground beneath their feet. He's too far, and he goes back mid, but the Anti gets the kill on Kane on the other side of the fight. And I think this may be it. I don't think Carrot's gonna hold. He's gonna try his darndest, because this is their tournament life. PTP's gonna fight for their last shot at FOF play, for their playoff miracle run. I think RLS is just gonna click the buildings. Fountain Gate Laser gets a kill, but it's just not enough. Deus has Thresh Bot on him, but superpowered Ord is just not enough. Carrots, he's trying, but yeah, RLS is going to click the Nexus, and they're going to win. And it looks like RLS, they take the win, and they will move up to challenge our, I believe our first seed, or is it our second seed?
I think it would be the second seed because they're the
Second
highest seed, right? They're the
I
highest seed.
read
because
the
there's
rules
fourth-
for sure, and I know how this tournament works.
I believe
but with
Quad A and Watch are lower seeds than RLS. So RLS would be facing the worst of the top two. So I believe we're going to be seeing another matchup for, what is it, the fourth time this season of AWE versus RLS.
Oh, I believe higher seed
semifinals.
gets selection. So I think we see the quarter results, and then first seed picks their opponent, second seed gets the other one.
You probably are correct because you're usually correct.
Yeah, I trust War Leader on this one. He's in the chat, yeah, so it looks like PTP will be the first team eliminated from playoffs. It was awesome to see them back in the league. As someone who's been playing since season 3, PTP was a big part of my FOF experience, and I wish they could have gone farther. I'm a big PTP fan, but I hope these guys will be back for another season, either with this roster or with some adjustments. I'd love to see Vanal on the Rift. They're an awesome team, and they're all super dank memers, so I hope they stick around and we see more of them.
And Raptor, we can see your chat, by the way. So I like the way that Utility Monster talks to you, and it makes it all kinds of fun for us to see that on stream. So it was great, Civilock. I wish we could have cast more games together this evening, but unfortunately, PTP just couldn't pull it out in Game 3 there, and I am rooting for them. I hope they come back next season, and we get to see them yet again tearing up the Rift.
Before we close out this portion of our broadcast, what do you think the road for RLS looks like if they're going to make a shot for the championship match?
I absolutely think that they can make it to the finals. They have shown some inconsistency this season, but not much, and it was mostly because of schedules. And I think that they can get the right team together, not have to use a bunch of subs for these playoffs like they showed today, and have that consistency. And when they're all playing cohesively as a team, they are pretty unstoppable. So I think that they will be able to walk right into the finals. I think that they've got a really good chance of taking it, but ultimately we'll have to see, because INT's been the other team that has just looked very dominant this season.
Yeah, who do you expect to see are you predicting RLS versus INT finals then? Is that what I'm hearing?
I am. That is what I am anticipating. But I guess it does depend on that side selection, because they could end up facing each other in the semifinals depending on what
That's
INT
true.
selects. But theoretically, I think INT wouldn't pick them just because they have looked so good. So they probably want to get as far as they can and hope somebody else knocks RLS out first before having to face them in the finals.
All right, we'll have to see what those matches will be. And I think this brings us to the conclusion of our broadcast. Do we have an interview coming up? We do. All right, we'll send it to the interview. Don't go anywhere, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow as well, because we'll be having more playoff action. Don't go anywhere. Got an RLS interview coming right up soon.
Quarterfinals round 1 has been wrapped up, and it is a victory for RLS 3-0 over PTP. My name is Escape, and I am joined by the victory side, the supportive king of the mid lane at the moment, Ruby.
Hi.
So, obviously, we saw a bit of flexibility in your playset tonight. So, mainly what I want to talk about for starting ourselves off is, like, obviously, you needed to step a little bit outside of your comfort zone. We've seen a lot of Talia so far this season. We only saw that capping off your last game. So I just want to know, like, what was kind of the development like getting ready for this? Did you need to prep specific things against PTP, or were you just trying to grow yourself as a player?
For the last week, I've been trying to get myself in a bunch of 1v1s, get a bunch of skill shot and practice. Just warm myself up for essentially the busiest game of my life. I put in a bunch of CS practice, and then I spent, I want to say, roughly a week and a half only playing Ivern. And that was my pastime. I would wake up, play Ivern, and go to sleep.
It's it's kind of the endless tree life that you're going for there, the woodchopper mindset, you know? It was, yeah, no, I obviously I saw it too. It was a lot of play, but I think that obviously, like, you showed your improvement. You did a really good job, and I think that that clearly helped you out. And I want to go straight to that Ivern pick, because obviously a little bit out there. We've seen a little bit of Ivern, mostly leaking into the Mythic League from the side of the YOLO. They've played a few times on Bloon. How is that Ivern different in the mid lane? What's different about that? Like, as a laner, what's different about that as a team fighter? Where does that fit into team comms?
Well, Ivern within laning is jank, to say the least. You're gonna get your buff from sitting in bushes, and then you do a little bit more magic damage per auto attack. But you also get to exist in lane and not be seen, which is kind of nice. You've got a shield that has no cooldown that you can loop constantly. So if you take a trade, you shield yourself and it's worth nothing. And they've burnt all of their spells, and now you get to combat them for free because they have nothing and you have a shield on you. That also slows when it pops. It's kind of ridiculous. As for team fights, you build Moonstone, and then your ADC never dies.
Felt that. I actually felt that.
You've got Daisy to take your front line, and then you just shield your ADC, and you sometimes throw a Q, and it's a free team fight.
Yeah, no, and it really showed the presence of that in the team fight was really, really huge. Obviously, the team fights were really what won RLS those that game 2, where that Ivern did come out. It was kind of a, not quite sway, but like the game was still definitely in contention. And then once that Moonstone started to come into play, there was a huge gold spike, and rapidly took to the end of the game from there. So obviously, that game was waited for team fights to really get you online, but a game that did not wait for team fights to get you online was that Annie game. 8-0-7 by the end of it. Sundara on the Seraphine just never looked like they were in contention at all. How are you feeling about that one? That's a big game.
Seraphine doesn't pose as much threat in lane with an E that doesn't exist unless you have her passive, the double cast on. And Q is very easily dodgeable, so she has a shield that takes forever to come off cooldown. And I can just stun, or I just take CS and continue to build CS and build a CS lead. I had a CS lead over you at one point, I think.
Yeah.
And eventually I just get to roam free with Tibbers and stuns, and just, I never died. I got to play a completely safe laning phase with Q refreshes, and then just won the game with our extremely fed ADC that I'm forgetting the name of.
No, and it was a dominant game like across the board, but really that mid lane was that cornerstone, finishing off with the 64 stacks on the Medjais across the board.
Yeah.
It was a really, really good game. I want to say well played to you for that one. Well played throughout the set. And I want to give you a last opportunity to give any sort of kind words, trash talk, anything else on the side to just leave on the desk before we go away for the night.
I want to say a big thank you to my team. A big thank you to Cowrie, who me and her have been swapping between mid lane for the majority of the season, and it's been tough to try and contend with her, I won't lie. Shout out to all the people I've ran 1v1s with. Shout out to Jeff God Gamer, our draft king, except for game 3, but we don't talk about game 3. And finally, Spencer, if you'd like to join me for this one.
Absolutely.
Another dub.
For the
Ruby
League server.
Yeah, baby.
Finally,
Let's
we
see
got
you
a
in
double on with
semis.
that one. Yeah, no, Sevi's obviously coming up. I want to say props to PTP. They played a really, really good set. And that is going to be all for FOF for the night. But don't you worry, we're going to be coming back right back tomorrow. We're going to have a set between Wash and Double A. It is bound to be intense. So make sure you don't miss that. Other than that, that is going to be us for the night. So thank you for coming in and sticking around. Good night.
Thank you.